Hey everyone, and welcome to this Not Safe for Work episode, Stable Condition, episode Animation Bastardization, also known as Animation Celebration.
Part 2 of that story that we've been building up to, and we've been continuing. It is 5 in the morning.
It's been 6 minutes since our last one.
Yeah, we took a little 5-minute break to talk about this, and that's the funny thing. We had to go into this with a bit of a plan, because we've said this at least 4 times now, it feels like, but we're going to go ahead and get this. There's one final one. This is your last chance. This will not be
safe for work.
This will not be safe for work. We are going to use naughty language, not, for, sexual stuff or anything, but we have a lot of suppressed rage.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, shit, bitch. You're going to hear all that.
Wow, way to come, right the fuck out with it, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know.
Fuck it, right?
Well, that's the funny thing is, I don't swear on my channel. So someone who came here from that is going to hear, dude, he just said shit.
So fuck it, right?
Well, that's 3 on the shit counter.
No, but, so yeah, we're going to be a bit out of our element with this, but it is indeed necessary, so.
Yeah.
Without further ado.
Let's go ahead and get the shitstorm started. So this is following up after
Yeah, we'll pick up where we left
Brony Fest, which was all in all a success.
Yeah.
After this is when we start to truly learn about Nightmare Nights.
Well, actually, could I actually want to start things off this time if you don't mind, because I actually have something that kind of pieces it together with entering the picture for that.
When did you enter the picture there?
That's what I'm saying is, shortly after Brony Fest, I went back home feeling inspired as hell by it. It was an amazing convention. I went and wrote a new song. It's like I got that confirmed. It's like, yes, I want to keep doing this. I want to keep pursuing it. And then I was encroaching upon what I consider to be my 1-year Brony anniversary, which I celebrate as April 28th. I wrote that article for it.
Bronyversary.
Yeah, April 28th, my Bronyversary. And what's funny is, on April 28th, on that day, I went to my first Brony meetup in Louisville.
Oh,
That's
I didn't realize.
how I'm tying this
I didn't even
in.
realize this when you came in.
Mm-hmm. April 28th, 2013. That was my 1-year anniversary of being a Brony, and that was my first Brony meetup, because it's like, it was so cool to me. It was like, oh shit, I'm seeing all these guys that I knew from Brony Fest. And it's like, oh, I remember you. Yeah, I remember you. Hey.
Yeah, no
so
offense,
cool.
I don't remember much that time, because there was one lingering problem after that I'm not going to get into because legal reasons.
I'll ask later.
I'm sure I've told you this story before, but
It's 5 in the morning.
needless to say, one of the people I looked up to the most started slamming me at my convention on Twitter because of a certain person. But during that time, we were mostly in the phase of working on what was going to be Brony Fest's second year at that point.
Yes, and I knew that I had heard about that, and I had known about that coming into this convention, because I had heard other people, not convention, this meetup, excuse me, saying stuff like, oh, can't wait for Brony Fest next year, because it's pretty natural for people at a con that they had a blast at. It's a perfectly natural thing to assume. Even as you walk out, I can't wait to do this again next year. That's perfectly natural. But I remember, I got to see all these people. I met these people. I saw you occasionally. I didn't really talk to you a whole lot because you always had that aura about you that, I'm busy, which you were. But that's whenever I got to meet Wanda. I almost called her.
Yeah, I know.
I was literally this close.
That's how I was all those times after those slip-ups.
Yeah, we'll try to edit it out, but whatever. So I got to talk to Wanda. I'm going to have to stop myself and go slow with that. And, I basically thought, oh, man, this girl helped fund the convention that we love so much. She cares about us. She knows,
To be perfectly honest, Wanda made it seem that way for everyone there except for me and Dallas.
Oh, I know, but again, I was brand new to this scene, and, it was, as the old, hippie saying goes, I was ready to believe anything. So whenever Amanda, oh my god.
Now you feel my pain, motherfucker.
It is 5 in the morning. I'm sorry. I can't believe I did it that bluntly too. Wanda. Wow, I can't believe I failed.
Yay. I haven't failed yet.
I retired from the podcast. Anyways, when Wanda, whatever, fuck it. When Wanda, whenever Wanda, I mentioned to her, it's like, because I think I had heard about Nightmare Nights before that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't really know about it. I just heard Nightmare Nights, Pony Convention, Dallas, November, and I was like, oh shit, there's another one coming. This is gonna be awesome. And I went to go talk to Wanda about that, and she basically started right off the bat, spreading all those nasty lies and rumors about what Nightmare Nights was really going to be. And because we saw her as the person who organized these meetups, who organized this convention, we were inclined to believe her. I mean, if you want to share what said rumors were and stuff like that.
Basically, they were going to sell pornographic material. There's going to be fursuit sex orgies. All kinds of stuff.
Oh, sure.
And the main reason why she spread that rumor is because she was afraid they were going to take away her business and her money.
Well, that, and also, doesn't Wanda, I know I've asked this before, but Wanda absolutely despised furries, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, come on.
She hated furries, so she looked for any and every excuse to demonize them and make them look like shit.
Exactly. But it was around that time we were really starting to plan. We were going to try to get Tara and other people, because
I remember that.
I can't talk really. Well, no, I can't really talk much about what she said about Tara's former agents. At least what she said.
Don't take a chance.
Yeah. But she just went on bad mouthing Nightmare Nights, and I was like, why are you doing this? I happen to be friends with Chef Sandy.
Well, that's the thing. It was like this every single goddamn meetup.
And these meetups were weekly, unlike our current meetups, which are bi-weekly.
No, wait, no. These were bi-weekly.
No, she had them every week.
She did?
Yeah. It's how she would get her monies, because she would do raffles and stuff to win these plushies she would make.
Sure.
No, seriously, she'd be like, oh yeah, $1 gets you one ticket. After you buy 10, it's going to be like $5 per ticket. She'd use that at the new shop that she was getting. Or actually, no, this was when she saw the old shop, to supposedly help pay for electricity and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, because I remember one of the days, not at, we can say the name of the shop, right?
No, don't say it.
We can't? Okay. So basically, the first day, not the first day, but the first time we had that anime shop at that haunted location we mentioned, it got moved to that other place next to the salon.
Yeah.
And I remember that's
and the Mexican church.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the Mexican church and everything, and I remember there was, I can recall, I think 2 or 3 days that we went to meetups there, and the power was out.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
There were quite a few instances where the power was dead. We couldn't get video games, we couldn't watch Sequester Girls like we wanted to, we couldn't get air conditioning.
Yeah, but luckily those summer nights were pretty cool.
Yeah, good timing with even better timed weather. It was an inconvenience, but it goes to show that, Wanda didn't pay the bill.
Yeah.
All that stupid shit.
But fast forwarding, this is around July. Oh, well, real quick, the first time I ever really met Trixie was at one of our meetups at a place called Sneaky Pete's in Louisville. It's on Lake Louisville.
First meetup I ever went to.
And to this day, I've never been to Sneaky Pete's.
It's basically paradise if you love going on lakes. They have jet skis you can rent. They have a party boat that you guys can rent and drink on, all that stuff.
Hey, before we get to July, we need to talk about June, because that's pretty important, because that's when you and I started talking.
Oh yeah, but real quick about Trixie. I first meet Trixie there.
Yeah, don't interrupt me, jerk.
Fucking jackass.
You weren't
dickhead piece of shit. Anyways, go on.
This is what we're talking about with suppressed rage.
But it was our first meetup there, and I see Trixie over there, And I don't know Trixie, but we have this one kid we call Mario Hat. I'm changing a name again.
Mario. Okay.
Because that's what Wanda would literally refer him as.
Mario Hat.
But I see him, and he brings his 3DS and stuff when everyone else brings their swim trunks and all that to swim in the pool. And he's playing Pokemon.
Of course I am.
I'm just like, wow, this kid is such a fucking nerd.
God.
Now he has good first impressions.
I gave you nice first impressions.
Well, you're wrong first impressions.
Wow, this guy is the coolest.
But no offense, I thought nothing more than that because I was there mostly to talk business, like how every meetup was.
Right.
But yeah, June comes along in A-Con, which we won't be really getting into because of reasons.
But there's one specific thing that happened that is worth noting.
Yeah, I met Dewey over here in his Team Rocket outfit.
Oh my God, that's right. I was in my grunt cosplay.
Yeah, you were.
This was Friday night at A-Con. I just happened to see you walking along over by the rave, and I said, because this isn't like the first time we ever spoke to each other. It's like, I remembered him. I think you remembered me a little bit.
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Like I knew who you were. And
I don't mean to sound like a jackass. I was just really busy.
No, I get
suppressing it.
Yeah, but it's it's like we started talking. Why did you come to me in the first place, anyways? Like,
I'm not gonna mention that. That's part of the thing.
No. This was before that.
I don't remember that then.
No, this was like we first started. I actually can picture this scene in my mind. It was Friday night, as the rave was going on. I had just gotten out of it, and I saw you walking along, and I think I said hi. We started talking, and I basically wanted some answers because that gave me about, let's see, from April to June. That's a good 2 months worth of time for the stuff that Amanda was telling us to resonate with me. It was like, is it true? And I basically came to you with the because I knew who you were. I came to you with the answers like, what should I do? Should I trust her? Should I not?
Oh, about Bronyfest 2?
About Nightmare Nights.
No, you didn't talk to me about Nightmare Nights until the month before, or not even the month before, like a couple weeks before, dude. This was in October.
No. I swear to you, I remember there was a conversation we had. It might have been rather brief, but there was a conversation we had at A-Con that is like, this was the first time I had brought it up to you. It's like, do you think this Nightmare Nights thing is like, the real deal, or could Amanda be right? Like, I promise you, I remember this.
No offense, dude, I don't remember at all.
That's okay, but I swear to you, I remember. But anyways, the reason we bring this up is because this is kind of the time when Jay Thorne and I started talking, we started getting to know the other person.
Yeah, the first time I legitimately remember you is when you and Seth come into that new shop that she owns. And Dallas was just like, hey, what's up? I haven't seen you guys in forever. I was like, who the fuck are these two? Like, Seth seems kind of familiar. Like, I've seen him in passing, and then I see you with the hat, and I'm like, he looks familiar.
Yeah.
And then that's when Dallas and Seth found an umbrella, and they did the whole Jurassic Park thing. Yeah.
Oh, no, I still have that picture
It was that night I started to remember you.
Yes, okay, that makes sense.
Because then I was like, oh man, I didn't get those guys' names. I hope they come back to the next meetup.
Aw, he wanted us to come back. Yay.
But, yeah, just A-Con, that wasn't a very fun A-Con for me at all.
It was pretty rough.
Because I also had to attend a convention panel only for people that run conventions, and no offense to A-Con, that was absolutely boring.
But anyways,
so boring.
So, next plot point, now we go into July.
Yeah, we're going to July, and this is when Amanda's really hyping things up.
It's the July of 2013.
July of 2013, and Wanda is really hyping it up. She's talking about, yeah, we can get Hey Ocean and Ashley Ball. We can have them play. It's Sneaky Pete's.
And then she came to me with that information and said, we know you play pony music. We like what you have. We want you to open for Hey Ocean. And me, being a brand new musician who just started writing songs a couple of months ago, I kind of flipped my collective shit.
Yeah, I remember you talking to me about it.
Yeah, I was super hyped and excited about that. Like, I was overjoyed about that. And, so by that point, I started to tell everyone I knew, the great news. I wanted to share
This
it.
is where we get to the plot point of Greg.
Yes, Greg, because that is totally his name.
Hello, Greg.
You don't have to bring attention to it.
Well, they're pretty sure they knew that from the get-go.
Those who are listening who know these stories do, but...
Yeah.
Anyways, we changed Greg's name.
We're calling him Greg. But anyways, just a bit of just kind of to wind the clock back a little bit. Greg was a guy I met at Brony Fest. He and I, we hit it off pretty decently. Turns out he was also a musician, played guitar, so there's something to connect with. He's a nice guy and everything. And we would, from that point forward, we just occasionally talked at the meetings and everything, but we weren't like buddy. But Greg, we were friends enough for us to exchange numbers. Let's put it that way. But I'm telling all these people like, oh my god, I have a chance to open for Hey Ocean. This is so fucking cool. And then I get to Greg. Man, I'm gonna have to stop myself on that one.
Yeah, that one's more important.
Yeah, that is a huge red flag. I get to Greg, and I tell him the good news, and his immediate response is, "Oh, dude, you gotta let me get in on that with you too." He's like, just nothing else. It's like, I want in on that as well. And I mean, I basically told him, well, it's not my call. It's up to Wanda. She needs, she is the one who said that I was going to play, so it's not my decision. You need to take this up with her. So I forwarded the information to Wanda, and they started talking, and eventually he became, I think this was like a month later. No, it wasn't a month later. It was a week later, excuse me. Turns out that he was going to be the second opening act, which, it was the second opening act, so we got that. So the way it's looking right now, it's me, Greg, and Hey Ocean. Alright, so there's an interesting lineup, I suppose. And I honestly don't, for starters, I don't remember getting a single thank you out of that.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd throw that out
That's
there.
a common theme of this plot point.
Yeah. So basically, that is, just to give you an idea, that is, let's just call July a half month. So that's August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That's 8 months at least.
Remember that number, because we're coming back to it.
Yeah. That's 8 months for me to prepare a set, a 15-minute set. That's all I needed to do. Wanda, I actually stopped myself. Yes, Wanda told me to just go out there and kill 15 to 20 minutes, which I did. I played. I already knew exactly what I was going to do. I had 4 songs, and because I had the advantage of, hey, I'm already writing my own songs, so why not go out with those? So that's 8 months to just practice those, rehearse those. You're good. And so
we'll get to that after the whole Nightmare Nights thing, because we're going in chronological order.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted. You're right. I just wanted to introduce the character Greg. So
And remember that number 8. Just remember that number.
Yeah.
I promise the dragons are coming.
Okay, George R. Martin.
Floppy Wiener. Floppy Wiener.
There's your South Park reference.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Sorry, I have to overdo it because we forgot one episode.
Yeah.
But fast forward every single week, Wanda is shitting and shitting and shitting upon Nightmare Nights.
It truly is like that. Like every single week, it is baffling. Every single week, there's something new to bitch about.
And the thing is, for those that went to this meetup, please do not take what I'm saying in any bad light. You did not know any better because I could not talk to you one-on-one about this.
And also, don't forget, I was among you with I know what he's about to say, but I was among you. Don't feel bad because I was suckered into it as well.
Trixie, were you suckered into it as well, or?
You might have been.
About the whole Nightmare Nights being evil and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, just the idea in general of everyone thinking Amanda is God on
He
earth.
just did it.
Damn it. Damn it!
I just know that.
Yeah,
I remember you were the one who was telling me about how she was saying
Damn
all
it!
that. But how she was saying all that, and I was just like, really? I mean, I'm gonna still check it out, but whatever. Like, that's how I was.
But what I'm about to say, please do not take this in any negative light. You did not know better. Again, I could not talk to you one-on-one to tell you the truth, since Amanda was always around me.
Now you did it.
Fuck it. We're doing it live!
No, actually, do you
Quite difficult.
I say, do you want to just say, like,
No.
You want to keep trying?
Yes.
Alright, we're kind of failing it.
I know. It's 5:30 in the morning.
So long as we don't say Greg.
You don't see.
That has, if I fuck that up, that has to be edited out.
I'll send it to you then, buddy, because you have much better editing software than I do.
That's true. Okay,
But,
proceed.
okay, so Wanda's whole thing was...
Congratulations.
I know. I'm taking whatever little victory I can get. But, Wanda would constantly shit upon Nightmare Nights, and she got the whole group believing it. Except for me, who knew the truth. And this was one of the worst times of my life, because I'm friends with Chef Sandy. I've been on Bronyville twice. Once as... I can't even remember the first time. I remember it was episode 19. I remember that much.
Okay, but anyways, proceed.
But I was also on there to replace Chef Sandy whenever he had to go out of town, couldn't make it. I'm friends with this guy. I know him. He's a good friend. And everything she's saying, she's spouting to these people. They spout it to other people. It spreads like a virus. She would spread it to other places and say, oh yeah, JWhoof's on this with me. Yeah, you know him from this. So, mind you, these months leading up to that convention, I was like, I really want to go to this convention, but I'm sure Chef and Bob believe that I'm saying all these horrible, horrible things about their con when I don't believe that at all. But anyways, we're going to go and fast forward to when you actually, this is the first, really, to me, this is the first time you've been like, JWhoof, can we come outside and talk?
Is this
real dead serious?
Is this what I think? This is in
Yes.
September, yeah?
This isn't in September. This is in October. This is almost before the convention.
No, hold on. Before you do that, there is one super important thing we do have to talk. I have to talk about.
Okay, go on.
This is the days before Brony Fanfare.
I was not.
You'll
part of that,
remember.
so maybe.
You'll remember what I'm talking about. This is super important. At least to me, like, this is crucial. So, I like to think that as we went on, I was slowly, like, agonizingly slowly, but surely, starting to see, you know what? Maybe Wanda is full of shit. Maybe, just maybe. Because she had something new to bitch about every single meetup. Every time Nightmare Nights would make a move, she'd make a fuck you move right back. Remember that kill con she tried to make?
Yeah, now I remember that.
That's not what I'm getting at, but I just...
Well, real
remember.
quick, I'm going to mention that. She tried to create a kill con on the exact same weekend as Nightmare Nights, where Matt Hill would be coming back, Rich Aarons, and possibly some other people. And it was a Halloween-themed con.
And I think that she said it herself, that it's specific...
The Nightmare Nights killer.
Its specific purpose was to do away with Nightmare Nights, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But anyways, the point I wanted to get at is this was right before Brony Fanfare. I'll tell Brony Fanfare stories on another day, but I'm gonna stay focused on this because it's very important.
Yeah.
But when I went up to Brony Fanfare, this is again as a timestamp. This is the September of 2013.
Wasn't this the last one?
No, second to last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is September of 2013, and Matt Hill and his buddy Sam Vincent. For those who don't know, Sam Vincent is the voice of Flim in My Little Pony, and he's also Double D in Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Yeah.
But, Sam himself is a great guy. I love him to death. But, I could go on and on about Sam, but I'm going to try my hardest to stay focused here. Because we were going up to Fanfare to advertise Brony Fest and all that great stuff, I wanted to, I was going to do some work with Wanda, and we were going to, help advertise the con. I was going to go off and do my own thing, but I'd occasionally come by the Brony Fest booth and help out with something, dumb shit. But one of which...
I know what you're talking about.
There we go. One of which was going to be taking care of Matt Hill and Sam Vincent, which I will go ahead and say was an honor to do. I love them to death. But leading up to that, Matt Hill was selling these butter toast plushies at for Brony Fanfare. Like, they would, just cute
I'll
little...
give Wanda this credit. She did know how to sell merchandise.
Yeah. And so you know what I'm talking about. These cute little butter toast plushies, and they were genius. It was an absolutely brilliant idea. They completely sold out on Friday. But basically, I went over to Wanda's house in Louisville this was like the day before day 0. This was Wednesday.
Yeah.
The Wednesday before the convention. Because
day -1, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, because I rode up to that convention with our buddy Ross. And we both agreed, because we drove down to Austin, and we agreed that we were going to take those plushies in the car with him. And I was like, yeah, we can do that. We got some extra space. Why not? So I'm going to Wanda's house to get these plushies, and lo and behold, she's got something new. Once again, to lie about, to bitch about, and tell me this. And she tells me several, not just one thing, but several things that I found pretty interesting. And I consider this so important because this is the turning point. This is when I pretty much got to see, so that's how it's going to be with all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So you see why it's so important. But basically, and this is just me. There's no meetup going on. There's no meetup. This is just me at her house loading stuff up into my car to take back to, where I live. And I'm loading up the plushies, and, she's telling me about it. She's got this plan. Okay, so I was helping Wanda load these butter toast plushies, and also like just little tiny things like a couple Matt Hill buttons and little knickknacks and paddywhacks like that. But it was the main bulk, the meat of it were these butter toast plushies. And as I'm loading them, Amanda's telling, oh god damn it, Wanda is telling me all of the it is. Jthor, it is 5:30 in the morning.
I know, just feel my pain, motherfucker.
Anyways, so I'm loading these into Wanda's. I'm loading these into my car, and she's telling me all of these dumb things. Like my personal favorite lie this might be my favorite lie, because this was can we say who they were planning on getting for Brony Fest?
Sure.
Okay. She was talking about wanting to get names like Claire Corlett, John Delancey, Kelly Metzger, Matt Hill coming back, Sam Vincent, Trevor Duvall, which, at the end of the day would have been a very impressive lineup.
Yep.
But she told me this, like, the dumbest thing I've heard, that the image of bronies in general is being...
Oh, yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, he's on. Now he's on.
I'm sorry, I tried to repress so many of these fucking memories.
Well, basically what he's reacting to is she came up with this stupid lie that bronies are being blacklisted by all of Hollywood. They don't like our kind, and so it's difficult to get these guests at conventions. And so
this is when Brony Fest started becoming an animation celebration.
It's not quite that.
That's when it started to.
That was the downward slope, yes. And basically, Amanda was, god damn it, Wanda was trying to say that the only way to save our con is if it's not a pony convention, but it's an all-around animation convention that can have some pony things in it. Thus, that was whenever Brony Fest 2014 became Animation Celebration. And honestly, I remember I was absolutely heartbroken that day. But anyways, I'm still not done with this little thing at her house. Like, yeah, that was okay. So she lied through her teeth to me, but by this point, I had believed that Amanda, while it was becoming more and more obvious that she is totally full of shit with a lot of things. I did it again.
Wanda.
When Wanda was trying to tell me
Cosmo and
Amanda. Fuck you.
now you're just trying. That's
Cosmo and Wanda, yeah. So this was like, to me, this was kind of like the real showing of the true colors of how
Wanda.
The showing of true colors of you're not loyal to us at all. You don't give a shit. But basically, the idea that she was willing to throw us all under the bus just so she could make her stuff look better. She was talking about how while Animation Celebration is being planned with all this stuff and everything, she was also working on another sci-fi specific convention that could have gotten the one and only David Tennant, which of course
not David.
No, it was David Tennant.
Not David Tennant. Before then, it was originally Tom Baker.
Okay, well when
the fourth Doctor, for those that
right.
don't know.
Well, when this news got to me, it was David Tennant. Like when she was telling me about this, it was Tennant. And of course, no disrespect to Tennant whatsoever. I think he's a brilliant actor. I love him as the 10th Doctor. But basically, Wanda.
I know.
Wanda, as I'm loading, she just very, very casually looked at me and said, "Yeah, man, fuck bronies and fuck doing pony conventions. We can get David goddamn Tennant." And I just that right there was everything I needed to hear. Is like, oh, so that's how it's going to be. So you really don't give a shit about us whatsoever. And so I loaded stuff. I went home. And, I had some new ammo to think about with this kind of stuff. So we go to Brony Fanfare. FunCon.
Yeah, this puts the sliver down into your mind about everything. Because when you came to me in October, that's when they just announced Mando.
Yeah, and Mando's announcement is also relevant to this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to save all the... Like, I want to, do an episode where we talk about some... Like, at least I talk about some stuff about the stuff that happened at Fanfare, plus the stuff... Well, Nightmare Nights is obviously going to get its own episode.
Of course.
But, like, I'm trying to keep this specifically to this story. And Mando being announced for the first Nightmare Nights...
This is specific.
It is relevant. It is actually relevant.
Because it's one meetup, and it's getting closer and closer to Nightmare Nights, and everyone's being like, yeah, fuck Nightmare Nights.
Yeah, and, hold on. Do you want, remember the whole all hail Wanda thing?
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah. Alright.
That's getting too personal.
I get it. But basically, they kept believing. Long story short, not only were some people were believing, they were also praising, thinking that, she was the answer to all this stuff, which, by this point, I'm like, no, this is bullshit. This is straight up bullshit.
Yeah, but it's this point whenever you finally come to me. It's like, hey, JWhoof, can I talk to you personally? I was like, yeah, sure, man, what's up? So, literally, we're walking down the concrete side of the road for her street, just walking back and forth.
Yeah, by the way, this was to the point whenever our meetups had relocated from the old anime shop to the new anime shop, and now they were at her house.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, dude, what's up? And you specifically asked me, should I go to Nightmare Nights? You just came out with it once we were outside.
I was pretty blunt.
You're very blunt, and I appreciated that. And I was like, yeah, go.
Well, I explained also, as like, listen, man.
I'm about to get to that.
Yeah.
I was very blunt about it, too. And you were like, well, I don't know if I should, from what Amanda said, and what everyone would think about Trixie will end up saying it as well, I swear.
This is friggin' hilarious. Why did I censor myself? This is fucking hilarious.
But,
man.
You asked me, you're telling me, like, what will everyone think if I go there? What will Wanda think? That kind of shit. I was like, don't give a fuck what they think. You decide what you do. When did they just start deciding?
Yeah.
So we got into a very long conversation and realized I finally have a fucking ally here that understands what's going on. And from then on...
It took me. Oh, by the way, can we also mention by this point the act we were opening for was no longer Hey Ocean?
Yeah, by this point, Wanda... I almost said it. Wanda was like, oh yeah, fuck Hey Ocean. They're this much to get. You could get Bowling for Soup for less at a massive stadium.
I don't remember us Bowling for Soup being one of them.
No, she was using that as an example.
Oh, okay. Can we go ahead and like say what the progression was? Like
sure, I don't really remember.
I actually do remember it. Like basically, like Greg and I's sets were still gonna stay the same, but who we were opening for gradually changed. Yeah. So it started off as Hey Ocean. Hey Ocean became Andrew WK. Andrew WK became Voltaire. Voltaire became the Marquis of Vaudeville, and that's what it ended. And this is over the course of several months. This obviously didn't all happen at once, but as you'll see, that's kind of the progression of how it went from Hey Ocean to Andrew WK to Voltaire, and then finally Marquis of Vaudeville, which they did perform. We did open for them.
Yeah, but every time there would be the whole group praising Amanda thing, I swear we were in sync because we just look at each other like, are you fucking serious? Did I say her name? Please tell me I didn't.
I think by this point...
I'm so tired that I can't even catch if I did.
Jatho, I'm pretty sure at this point the cat's out of the bag.
I don't care. We're still going to try. Principle of the matter, motherfucker.
Fine. But
anyways, we would just look at each other like, are you fucking serious?
Well, I looked at you more like, oh, great, here we go again.
Well, there were certain times where we looked each other in the eyes exact same time, like...
Yeah.
Well, anyways, this is progressing.
Now, hold on. Since we're still in October, and this is before Nightmare Nights, there is one other thing we got to mention. 3 words. Big Lebowski Night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, and there's a reason I am currently wearing my Eagles shirt.
Yeah.
Of the band The Eagles. Okay, so...
I'll lead up to this one.
Alright, so...
Wanda basically was like, yeah... You know what would be awesome? Because she was originally planning on getting bowling shirts done by the people who did the shirts for the Big Lebowski.
And Big Lebowski is tied into this because of the reference to it in My Little Pony.
Yeah, which had happened by this time. And she still wanted to do that. She's planning on having an open bar and that kind of stuff. But she wanted young Dewey over here and Greg.
There's a lot of white Russians.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, I found this company that can easily get the rights. They'll play it in the main ballroom. We're going to have an open bar. Everyone's not required, but suggested that they should come dressed as the dude or whatever.
Yeah.
And she went up to Dewey
and basically
Greg, and we're like, it was like, well, while everything's getting set up, I want you guys to play Hotel California.
Let's just say there's a reason I was on my way up here today. I had Hotel California on repeat in my car. Because that song, while I am, in a way, I am kind of tired of it, it does have a bit of a significant value to me because of everything you're about to hear.
Yeah, remember that, because it's going to come into play.
And for those of you who don't know why Hotel California is because it is relevant to the movie The Big Lebowski. If I recall correctly, it's because the dude hates that song.
I think so. I don't.
Yeah, I personally haven't seen Big Lebowski in a long time, but it's like he's always shitting on that song. He hates Hotel California.
Yeah.
So she wanted us, hey, you guys should go play Hotel California for him. And bear in mind, with Greg and I combined, our setup is basically me on my acoustic guitar and vocals, him on his electric guitar and amp. Just bear that in mind. Yeah. So, not a mind-blowing duo, but,
can get the job done, theoretically.
It'd be a good way to, kill some time while people are filing in and, getting drunk off of White Russians.
But, needless to say, Dewey goes to Nightmare Nights. My buddy Board Game was going up there, and he texted me like, dude, are you coming to Nightmare Nights? And I was like, I want to, The problem is, I think Chef and Bob hate me.
Also, I'm sorry, just again for sake of timestamps and everything, with the addition of now Big Lebowski night. Bear in mind that's October, November, December, January, February, March. That's 6 months to work with.
Yeah.
For us to learn a song, and believe me, these numbers are going to come back. And also for Nightmare Nights,
I'm just doing a very brief summary. We will come back to this later, but basically you're going to know my thoughts about it and what led me to go into the first Nightmare Nights and what was the best convention I've been to in over 5 years. But he was like, oh, you should just ask. I'm sure Chef wouldn't mind. I was like, well, let me ask him. So I sent Chef a direct message on Twitter. And I was like, Chef, I know Wanda's caused a lot of problems. And I hope you know I was not a part of any of that. Would you mind if I come to your convention? And I'm just constantly looking at my phone like, oh my god, is he going to respond? And finally he responds like, yeah, dude, you're cool. We knew you weren't saying anything like that.
I bet that was like a massive relief to you.
Oh, it was. And then Board Game came and picked me up and went to Nightmare Night, stayed in his room. It was the year before I started working in that convention. But
yeah, so...
But basically it was the best time I've had in 5 years, 5 years previous of conventions.
Well,
so.
anyways, like, the relevance of something we mentioned earlier, in regards to Nightmare Nights, I just wanted to introduce the quick, the straw that broke my camel's back was, this was literally like a week and a half before the convention. This is like late October of 2013. Basically, for those who don't know, I'm a huge Mando Pony fan. Like, he's one of my absolute favorite pony musicians, and a lot of my influence comes from him, and I really look up to him and everything. So whenever about a week and a half before the convention started, bear in mind I was still like, do I go? Do I not go?
Should I stay or should I go now?
Yeah, thank you. But it was a huge internal conflict, and then I just so happened to stumble across something that Mando Pony just posted on his Twitter, like, oh yeah, guys, don't forget, I'm going to be at Nightmare Nights in a couple weeks, and I just go, fuck.
And that's what led to Clayton talking to me.
Yeah, I was like, I have to go. Like, that's it. And I remember bringing that up to you. It's like, okay, look, J-Thor, Mando Pony's going to Nightmare Nights. That's kind of the straw that breaks my camel's back. I really, really want to go. Should I go? And that's when you said, dude, fuck it, go. Which I did. I managed to get a room at the last second with none other than Hot John. Mm-hmm. We love you, Hot John.
Very good friend of the podcast.
Yeah. And so, I went to Nightmare Nights, and same story, like, Nightmare Nights is going to get its own damn episode. Just know it's just as special as Brody Fest was to me. Like, it was nothing short of magical. And point in case is, Amanda, damn it, Wanda was so full of shit. It was an incredible convention.
That was a convention where we bonded and truly became friends.
Bingo. And I think to this day, I truly believe it's because we finally got to see that end result. We got to see the end result of, well, she's a fucking liar.
Well, I always knew that.
But to see it.
For you to see it, at least. I already knew.
Yeah, well, I mean, to see just how well run it was, how everything was great, I got to see Mando Pony, that's a story for another time, but point in case is, it was a massive...
Basically, the number one lesson to take from this was, Wanda was full of fucking shit. Yeah. The end. And that's going to come into play much later.
Alright, so...
But anyways, let's go ahead and continue going.
I believe, aside from, just more continuous bitching about it, that concludes everything that happened in 2013. Holy shit. In 2 episodes, we just talked about our entire year.
Yeah.
2013 was a pretty special year.
2013 was horrible for me because that's also when I lost my job.
It was a pretty up and down year for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's fast forward. Is there anything worth noting that
No. We're going straight up to the week before because that's where the numbers come into play.
Oh, okay.
Also, I want to trim the fat a little bit.
That's going to be a little hard, but yeah, I get you.
Well, leading up to it, because we have plenty of stuff to talk about at the convention. But
Right.
remember those numbers we told you? This is where they come into play.
Let me know and I have the floor.
You have the floor right now.
Thank you. Okay, so again, just to bring you guys back up to speed, Greg and we've had about for our own personal sets. We've had August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 8 months. 8 months to work on our own individual sets to kill 15 to 20 minutes, what an opening act is supposed to do.
At Hotel California was 6 months.
Yeah, well, that's a separate thing. That was Big Lebowski night.
I know, but still, you need both those.
Yeah, I was getting to that. So yeah, our personal concerts, the one we had 8 months to work with, that was the Saturday night concert. The Friday night concert was going to be this Big Lebowski night thing with the Big Lebowski night was what Greg and I were going to do for that. That was 6 months to work with. 6 months to learn one song. Bear that in mind. One song. And so this is the Monday. This is the Monday before the convention because we didn't have a meetup
on Sunday.
On
oh no, there is one thing we forgot.
Oh, what?
This is when Wanda got the #1 guest.
How the fuck did we forget about that?
I'm not gonna mention the whole husband thing, by the way, because
oh yeah,
that I feel that would be a dick move, and I don't want to ruin his memory that way. Just so you know, she's a horrible person. I'm gonna leave it at that. But during those months leading up, Wanda's #1 concern was getting the goddamn Batman.
Kevin
fucking Conroy. She managed to do it. I'll give her that. She managed to do it.
But that's all she would boast about. For months it was, we got the goddamn Batman.
She even went on a radio show, which I forgot to mention that for Brianfest. Me and Dallas were on an actual radio show for that.
Okay, but I mean...
But, real quick, she went on a radio show, and she played it for us, because she was so fucking proud.
Of course she was.
And she constantly mentioned Kevin Conroy, the goddamn Batman.
Which, no disrespect whatsoever to Kevin
Mr.
Conroy.
Conroy is a legend among voice actors. I respect the man greatly. He brought the Dark Knight to the children in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
He's truly an inspiration. But that's all she would talk about.
And
every fucking week. I'd always hear the goddamn Batman at least 10 times.
Suppressed rage.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're done? I thought you were going to keep going.
No, but that's what's leading into this. That's her #1 ticket. And I'll get to that story when we get to the actual convention.
Yeah, okay, so I cannot believe we totally neglected the goddamn Batman.
Yeah.
Alright, so anyways, now that we're back up to speed, this is the Monday before the convention because, I forget the reason. But
she was at a convention doing something. She was out of town.
Right.
And then she came back and was like, guys, I'm going to go and host a meetup on Monday. So,
is this when she dropped the ball about the MLP actors?
Yeah, I believe so.
You want to talk about that first?
Basically, she dropped the ball about Matt Hill's, I don't know if he's still his agent or not, but his agent pulling all the My Little Pony actors out.
Like, literally days.
It was about a week or two before then.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it was like a week or so, but yeah, like, the week before the convention started, all the MLP actors that were supposed to come got pulled.
Mind you, on the official website, they were still on there during the whole convention.
That's right. She never posted any kind of update like, oh, by the way, so and so, so and so, and so and so aren't able to come. No, like that never got changed.
By the way, I won't be telling that story either. You know which one I'm talking about.
I actually don't, but
Sweetie Belle.
Oh, that one. No, I wasn't expecting it.
But
basically, yeah. So let's just go down the list real quick of all the ones that got pulled. Matt Hill, Sam Vincent, Claire Corlett, John DeLance. Well, I think John DeLance kind of bowed out.
No, she couldn't get him because he was going on a world sailing trip or something.
That's right.
Like
okay,
that.
that's fine. But yeah, So Matt Hill, Sam Vincent, Claire Corlett, Kelly Metzger, even though she had to leave. For Kelly Metzger is Spitfire, but Kelly Metzger had to go for some other reason. Like
Yeah.
she had some photo shoot or something.
I don't know.
I don't know. But there was some other reason why she couldn't go, and also Trevor Duvall. He also got pulled.
Yeah.
So we are officially a pony convention, well, a former pony convention that just got all
F
of its
in the A.
all of its MLP voice actors completely pulled. I mean, you know, we still had some community guests for the fandom and everything, but at this rate, that was it. And we were slowly, bit by bit, losing the influence. More and more and more because of Amanda's bullshit.
You did it.
I damn it did it.
I damn it did it. I'm going to start using that from now on.
I damn it did it.
But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to
Yeah.
Monday.
Okay,
We're
so-
all around Wanda's house. I'm talking to Wanda, trying to salvage this horrible mess I'm in.
You know those instances where you can just tell a massive ass kicking is coming?
Yeah.
This is one of those times. And you know what? It's about to get better. So, again, back to those numbers, those magical numbers. 8 months for Greg and I to work on our personal set lists. 6 months for Greg and I to work on Hotel California. And in this time, specifically with, I'll tell that here in a minute. But occasionally, Greg would be at the meetups playing on his guitar, you know, just background music. Playing with his effects pedals, doing whatever. Okay, whatever. But this Monday, he pulls me aside and says, "Hey man, we need to have a talk." And I'm like, "Uh-oh, is everything, hey man, you know, what's up? Is everything okay?" He tells me 2 things. He drops 2 balls on me. 1, I have crippling stage fright. 2, I don't know what I'm going to do from... 3 things, I'm sorry. He dropped 3 balls on me. I have crippling stage fright. I have no idea what I'm going to do for my personal set. And I have not listened to Hotel California in 3 years. And you know those like super... Like those kinds of like blind fury where you don't scream, but your body just twitches?
And you see nothing but red?
I had that for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Like...
And mind you, Dewey's not a violent guy at all.
I like to think I'm a pretty chill and laid back person.
But,
I
yeah.
was absolutely livid. Livid.
Do you want to go ahead and drop the ball with your part?
What do you mean?
How you didn't learn Hotel California?
Well, I mean, I did. What?
You didn't learn all the way through?
I bullshitted it so, you know, I could just get the chords for it.
Yeah.
Which, that's the thing is, like, I was never expected to learn the entire, like, you know, the entire intricacy of the song. It's 2 guitars. So I figured, okay, well, you know, I go out, and since I've got the acoustic, I play the standard chord, which I did know the chords, and that's all I really needed to know. I knew the chords. I didn't really need to know any of the fingerings or anything, you know. I knew the chords, and then he would just play, you know, B minor leads over that, which is, you know, pretty solid formula.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was that, and so I want to strangle Greg.
Yeah.
Like, I am so absolutely pissed off right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and for, you know, musicians, like new musicians listening and whatnot, if you have bad stage fright, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's nothing to be ashamed of. But you know what? You don't wait to tell somebody that literally days before your performance. You just don't do that. That's like, that sets your message of
But the reason why I brought that up is because I'm going to tell the next part of the story.
because
You come to me.
I was like, hey, J-Thor, we got a problem again.
It's like, okay, what's up? You tell me the whole situation. And you're like, can you please explain to Wanda? I was like, no. You're explaining this one. That's your department.
Yeah, and I was
I was kicked from being a convention owner down to con ops.
And that's the funny thing about it is, like, when I came to you asking about that, I already knew you were going to say no. It's like, no, you need to go tell Wanda. But I figured I'd hope against hope and try, and I was just like, well, fuck. So, I basically tried to do it to where I was like, you know, Wanda, stuff happened, and,
By the way, I'm over in the corner just... Basically, if I had popcorn, I'd be eating, like, Starlight Glimmer during that part in season
oh, yeah,
6
he took
premiere.
great sadistic pleasure in me squirming, you bastard. But anyways, I'm, like, trying to plead my case to Wanda.
Trixie's smile.
That's hilarious.
It's such a tired smile that it's adorable.
Bless his heart, man. Like, he just plopped on the bed behind me. He's so tired.
We all
I'm
are.
so tired.
Well, we're gonna
Finally
finish this.
showing this character trait that I've had for my OC.
We're going to finish this. Anyways, so I am just pretty much borderline begging Wanda, like, listen, honestly, is this necessary? Like, is this a crucial part of Big Lebowski?
Basically, yes, it is. Go help him with his set list. That's all Wanda really said to you.
Yeah. So Greg and I spent that entire meetup
In the garage.
We were in Amanda's garage. It's like, God damn it! In Wanda's garage.
I'm sorry, but people are gonna laugh at this.
Yeah,
it's good entertainment.
Go ahead, guys, laugh it up.
Laugh it up.
You could just
fuzzball.
call her the bitch if you
We could-
Why didn't we think of that? I know there's people.
And I say, we were in a public place. People are gonna be mad at us. And also, our sound waves just really picked up on that.
I know.
We just really peaked. Anyways,
You don't really need to talk too much in detail about it.
I'll trim the fat. We spent several hours in the garage, and he's in an extreme panic because he doesn't know what to do. And am I at liberty to say what he spent the entire time doing?
Making out with his now fiance.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Yeah, like constantly. And I mean, you know, that's
But yeah, basically,
public affection at its worst.
basically, what Dewey's doing his best with Greg is to help him get on the right path, which he eventually does.
Yeah.
So he works on it till that Saturday, from what I remember.
Just to give an idea of like what it was. Basically, while Greg doesn't write his own songs, and I have that unfair advantage over him, what he does have is one of those pedal loops that you use for your your electric guitar, and you can do all kinds of cool things with that. And I know that he had a bit of a thing for doing song mashups. So basically, we came up with this idea.
Yeah, just give one example.
Yeah, I was gonna. Basically, an example of this is one of his song mashups was the theme to Skyrim meshed with the theme to the Pirates of the Caribbean. And in theory, on paper, it sounds really good. And in practice, it's also really good. Like, it's like, see, dude, this is what you needed. This is your set. So, you know, come up with a couple of these arrangements. 3 or 4 of them, he ended up doing 3. And there you go. There's your set. And as far as Hotel California goes, just go home, familiarize yourself with the song, just listen to it to get a feel for it, to watch for those changes, and just play B minor ad lib over my chords, which I really had to swallow a lot of pride saying that. Basically, I'm telling him, make it up as you fucking go, because that's all we've got at this rate.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, you know, I'm gonna do it. And then our friend, much to his credit, our friend Jordan kept texting us throughout that. It's like, you know, hey, are you guys making sure that you're, you know, doing your stuff? And, you know, I poured in and was like, yeah, you know, I'm working on it. And Greg, well, he didn't. And it also didn't help that he wouldn't be arriving at the convention until like Friday afternoon, which cut down time. Is like, well, we're not going to be able to have a single time to rehearse this.
Yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and jump to day 0.
Yeah.
I'm running around like a chick with my fucking head cut off. That's day 0. Day 1.
Nothing on day 0 aside from that, huh? I think all I really remember from day 0, we went to IHOP. I took a picture of a friend of ours who made it look like he was on fire, and we went went to Steak and Shake. I think that's all I really, really remember. Oh,
Yeah.
that's when your Trixie. That's when your poor Applejack got anarchied halfway to.
No,
hell.
it wasn't because
That was at Furry Fiesta.
No, I mean like.
the con wasn't even open yet. I got Applejack at the con.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I mean.
it was either Saturday or.
Okay.
Tuesday,
Well,
so-
point in case is at some point we went to a Steak and Shake where that happened. That poor Applejack. Anyways, so Friday rolls around and ask anybody at that convention who knew me.
Or just ask anyone who went to that convention.
I was sweating.
Wanda had the brilliant idea of, oh, we don't make Artist Alley free like most conventions. You have to pay at the table in order to get in to see anything.
Yeah.
And with
It's
their
all gone.
security, we had an actual professional security crew. They didn't really care about that shit. They were there to stop any kinds of fights or anything like that. But with our volunteers, they weren't paying attention. I don't blame them. And so, literally, there's one point where Wanda's freaking out, like, we have 2,000 people in there, and I barely see anyone with a little wrist thing. They didn't even get badges.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took-
This con did not have badges. We got.
That was the first thing. I was just like, really?
We had paper wristbands.
They went the Comic-Con route, which
Uh-huh.
Comic-Con can get away with that, but it's like, we have so many people out there without wristbands. We're losing money.
Here's the funny thing about it, though, and this is actually something I can have a bit of a giggle about, is to this day, it may have been a piss poor paper wristband, but to this day so far, that is the only convention where I've ever actually been comped for a badge, quote
Yeah.
unquote. I just think that's funny that that's it of all fucking conventions.
I remember the deal that they had. Like, if you buy a badge and a hotel there, you get a free badge.
Wait, what? I never heard that.
Yeah, that I remember Wanda did that to get families more inclined to get a hotel room to help cut down on the cost.
Whatever.
But like most, and I forgot to mention one player in all of this.
Who?
Poor Tyler.
Oh.
He took over. He's such a good friend because he took over vendor room and all that for me.
Like a champ.
Me and him were the most overworked people at that convention, bar none. Security team, if you ever find them, I'm not gonna mention names or anything. You find them, they're like, oh yeah, we were constantly working. Bullshit. We were constantly working under the pressure. But Wanda managed to convince a bunch of different voice actors and stuff to come to the convention for free because of certain circumstances. And we got the voice like Sailor Moon and stuff like that.
The magician.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and tell this tale even though it's not chronological, because fuck it, I'm tired. Sailor Moon was pissed because she was one of the ones that's supposed to get paid. Wanda didn't want to pay her the full amount. So I'm literally sitting across from Con Ops with Chef Sandy and everyone because we're having a meeting of conventions and shit. And she's telling the whole sob story and blah, blah, blah. Poor me.
I'm
But
the
I
victim here.
hear Sailor Moon screaming and cussing like a fucking goddamn sailor. And that was surreal for me, but I felt so sorry for this one woman. I can't remember her name. I feel so bad for her. I feel really bad for not remembering her name because we called her Mama Khan. She's
Oh,
yeah,
she was super
she
sweet.
was the one that went over there and dealt with that. And after that, she was like, fuck Wanda. She can deal with this herself because
She was super sweet.
everyone lost money there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had Steve Cardenas, the Red Power Ranger there.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
having a good time. He got paid, at least. But the goddamn Batman. I'm not going to go into specifics here because I'm not going to reveal his contracts or anything. But
I
needless
know
to
how
say,
much he was supposed to get paid. I'll just say it was a pretty penny.
yeah, but Kevin Conroy doesn't. I think I can say this. Kevin Conroy doesn't really like to charge for autographs because he has a lot of kids that come up to him. A lot of kids know who he is.
And you know
Wanda
what?
had him
That's cool.
charge for that.
That's not cool.
And needless to say, the goddamn Batman did not get paid. the freak show she had come to a family convention.
And I'd say
no offense to them. They're very nice people.
That's the thing. We need to drive in the idea that despite the fact that we are no longer a pony convention and we are now just an all-around animation convention,
you almost did. You can still save it.
Wanda really, really, really hammered it in that this is still a family convention.
Mind you, the way the women from the freak show got their tips was you stapled money to their skin.
Wasn't just the women.
I know. But, by the way, we're going to save the Greg story for the very last. Because that's the creme de la creme.
Well, I mean, there's actually something I want to say after that, but that's
I'm talking about the last major story. Then you can
news.
talk whatever you want after that.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. This brings up a lot of really, 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 really bad memories.
What makes you think that warning was just for our listeners? That's a warning to you, too. Brace yourself for your own
Trust me, rage. I know. I'm sorry that I'm getting angry and angry as this goes.
Can you guys tell?
But, needless to say, Wanda, the con owner, could barely be found. At all.
Always a good thing.
And with the guy she replaced me with as co-con head, he could barely be found.
Man, I know exactly.
I felt sorry for him. I'm not going to mention him by name or give him a replacement name. I'm just going to refer to him as him.
And you know what? Him eventually disappeared off the face of the earth, too.
Well, the thing is, this guy had a good business going for him. He saw money in this. I don't blame him for jumping on board. But, there was one point where I pulled him outside. I was like, look, dude, I'm going to be straight with you. I don't want to see what happened to me happen to you. You need to get away from Wanda as fast as possible. She still owes me over $8,000 that she promised. And you need to get out of this now. And he had pride. I'll give him that. Because he was like, look, J. Thor, I respect you. I'm going to make sure you get paid by the end of this week. And I was like, that's not going to fucking happen, dude. And he just looked, he looked shocked that I had the nerve to say, I was like, I know how this is going to end. I've been a part of this shit as the embers were burning and it started to set things aflame.
Tears and lots of them.
Yeah. And, needless to say, there's still people looking for Wanda.
There are 2 different Facebook groups, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't checked them in a long time. They might have stopped because they realized that they wouldn't get their money back and they'd waste more money than what they'd ever get back. Yeah. I don't know. But just know this. I proved him right. I proved myself right. I did not get any money whatsoever. Hell, I had to buy the Big Lebowski copy because she was too cheap.
I'm sorry, dude. That's shitty to you, but I'm sorry from a neutral perspective. That's fucking hilarious that's what it came to.
Well, the thing is, one of the security guys, he was talking to me, he's like, yeah, Big Lebowski is one of my favorite movies. When I was being divorced from my wife, she took all my movies, and Big Lebowski was on. I was like, dude, fucking keep the DVD. I don't fucking care.
Just get it away from me.
I just want this fucking thing to be over with. And we can go ahead and tell the Lebowski night story, because this leads into one of your first panels ever, right?
I'm about to say, let's go ahead and get that out of the way first. Animation Celebration was a special convention for me because this was technically the first time I ever did panels ever for any convention. And my first ever panel, it wasn't like a panel I was a guest star in, even though I was a guest star in the Rowdy Rough Bros panel. That was super fun. Hate those sodas, by the way.
Fuck you about that.
Ouch. But basically,
you were supposed to drink the combination, not me.
Hey man, I won fair and square in rock, paper, scissors. But anyways, the first panel I ever hosted was a creepypasta panel. Creepypasta. Yeah, my voice cracked. What up? It was a creepypasta panel.
Well, real quick, we're gonna talk about leading into before that.
I just wanted to set the idea that I have panels that I'm running here too. So you want me to just jump into Big Lebowski night? So basically, I spent because I know that Greg was not.
By the way, if you want to skim over and be like, it fucking sucked, You can do that. I don't care.
Well, it did fucking suck, but
There's only one part about that story I fucking care about.
thank you.
Because I'm completely selfish.
I know, but I'll set the stage a little bit. I'll trim as much as I can. But basically, Friday, because I know that Greg did nothing to work on Hotel California at all, even though I gave him the easiest job in the world of just, hey, since we're, kind of having to bullshit this at the last second, whatever, just do some improv leads.
So let me lead into this. It was completely unnecessary for him to be up there because barely anyone showed up.
Uh-huh.
There wasn't even 10 people.
Well, actually, I think there was a point when some people did start to file in. But point in case is we're tucked over on the side. The sound guy, bless his heart, is, micing us up, EQing us up and everything. And I'm there sweating bullets because I know that he didn't do dick to get this song ready. And I am a nervous wreck. It's one of those things where normally I believe in the saying, getting your ass handed to you isn't nearly as bad when you see it coming a mile away. This is one of those times where that's not the case. I knew this was going to be a fucking disaster, a train wreck of epic proportions. And I'll be honest, I almost started crying a little bit just because I knew that this stress was just piling because it's falling on me, and Greg isn't giving a shit. He's just there like, getting ready to, half-ass.
I'm helping.
No, you're not. Exactly. It's just like...
You can't see it, but I'm making incredibly horrible...
He's doing a silly gesture. But, basically he did none of the work alone. So, what does he give a shit? He doesn't have to worry about anything. It all falls on me, and I'm, like I said, a nervous wreck. But then, as, we're getting ready to do this, time's coming where we almost have to start the song and get it over with, a miracle happened. An absolute godsend of a motherfucking miracle.
Was it at the beginning?
It was literally 2 minutes before we were supposed to play the song.
Oh, I thought you guys were playing.
No, this was before.
Okay. Basically, for those that don't know about ConOps, at least in my experience, we run the panels and stuff. We make sure panelists get there on time. I look in the panel rooms to make sure that things are going on, and people are coming to me like, hey, is this where the creepypasta panel's supposed to be? I was like, oh yeah, here, I'll show you. I look in there. Dewey's not in there.
Don't tell the attendance of it yet.
I'm not.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm just like, where is he? So I go on a hunt for him, and then I remember, oh yeah, Big Lebowski's happening right now. He should be finished up by now. I go in there, I see him. I assume that he was done playing.
No, we weren't even started yet.
And that's when I came to him and was like, dude, you need to get to your panel. You're like...
You called me. You didn't come in, you called me.
I thought I did.
No, I remember. You called me.
Oh, yeah, I called you.
You called me on my phone and basically explained, listen, you need to get to your panel. And I was like, what? Yeah, it's a full house. There's not an empty seat in that entire room. You need to get there. It's like, but I've got this engagement here. I was like,
fuck Wanda, get there.
I was like, you mean?
Is essentially what I said.
You mean it? I
Yeah.
look at our sound guy and is like, do you care? He doesn't give two possible shits about this. Like, go on, get out of here. We don't care. And honestly, this is the point in my life where literally tears are just I'm about to burst into tears, and I'm so relieved, so overjoyed, and I don't even say a fucking word to Greg other than I'll catch you later. I pack up my guitar and I run the fuck out of there as fast as I can, and I could have almost sworn that I was actually humming to myself as I was speeding down the hall. I've got a golden ticket, I've got a golden twinkle in my eye, because that was just, oh my god. And then I get to the creepypasta room, full house. People are standing on the sides, they're just waiting, and it is just the most eye-opening, jaw-dropping thing I'd seen so far, and it was so moving. It's like, you guys are here for the panel that I made, and just, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So, honestly, on a personal level, a lot of things in Animation Celebration were great. For me.
Yeah.
For me, like the panels that I was involved in and I ran.
And luckily, I was part of one of your longer running ones.
Yeah.
Pony the Interruption.
Pony the Interruption's still going. I can't wait to do it again.
Trixie, I'm sorry, but we need you awake for this one part.
Well, do you want... No, like, do you want to actually get...
I want to tell that one little bit
Okay.
real quick about what was
Okay.
in the hats.
Okay, so basically we do a panel called Pony the Interruption, which is inspired by the ESPN show Pardon the Interruption. And basically what we do is we just have our audience write a bunch of slips, just write a bunch of things they want us to discuss. Just like write them down on index cards, just something pony related, be it from the show, from the fandom, whatever. And the questions range from anything.
Mind you, it's me, Dewey, and Dallas.
Yeah, we were the original three. And I mean, these questions range from things like, what is your favorite season? What's your favorite song? Do you think the relationship between these two ponies is really good? Just random stuff.
And after this, real quick, we're gonna go ahead and tell that story that you want to be a part of, so you can get some sleep.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Trixie's gonna be bowing out after these two stories.
He
'cause
is
he's-
exhausted.
Yeah.
He
It's
is-
kind of funny that the guy that got a lot of sleep is the
Is-
one bowing out before the two that only got like 3
I'm
hours.
still functioning off of 3 hours
Hey,
of
I
sleep.
barely got sleep too.
Yeah.
Screw you.
3
Oh,
hours.
I just assumed.
Hey, guys.
It's his fault.
Ladies, you're both pretty.
Fuck you, Dewey.
What? But anyways, well, I'm functioning off of 3 hours of sleep that was almost 24 hours ago. So.
Yeah, same here.
So anyways, so the idea is we take all those index cards and put them in a hat or a lunchbox or whatever. Just draw them at random, and whatever that topic is, we spend 3 minutes discussing it. And once the timer goes off, we move on to the next one. Lather, rinse, repeat. It's a super fun panel, and I always love doing it. And it's still going because conventions seem to like it, which great. But
it was my first time at that panel. As
yeah,
well.
Trixie,
I was in the
Trixie,
audience.
Trixie is now one of the members of Pony the Interruption, but he was not for the first one.
And I can pretty much kick off any member I want.
And here's the great thing about it. To this day, I think that's why I put you. I think this specific reason is why you're on, anyways.
Yay.
But basically,
Okay,
he
so,
did-
it was a full house for that one too.
yeah,
right?
no, we had a really good crowd, and I have to tell this,
Oh,
please.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay,
Go
so
for it, brah.
this is the first time I'm ever doing this panel, and I'm super excited. It's like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. This was like Saturday afternoon, by the way.
Yeah.
This is gonna be super awesome. Everyone's coming up. They're dropping their slips. Like, oh, I wonder what kind of crazy, silly, wacky pony questions we're gonna get. And so, I shake up the lunchbox and it's like, all right, let's, got a big smile on my face, let's do this. Okay. What do we got here? And like I said, this is the first time we've ever done this panel. I draw it out. The first fucking card of Pony the Interruption's life is, and I quote, "Why does Dewey suck so much?" Signed by Trixie.
With a little heart.
He wrote a goddamn heart. And I just look up from that, and who do I see in the far corner of the room waving like, hi? I can't, guys.
None of us.
Guys.
The entire room could stop laughing.
Guys, I can't.
Especially me and Dallas.
No, guys, listeners, I cannot make this shit up. I truly can't.
It was Manifest Destiny.
It was fucking awesome.
That was the first card ever. And I mean, after that, we got stuff like, what's your favorite song from season 4? What do you think of the new season so far? Who's your favorite pony? What fanfics do you like? Just, stuff like that. But not only that, he fucking signed it. He signed it with a heart.
It was meant to be.
Why does Dewey suck so much?
That was beautiful.
Anyways, so yeah, that was...
Real quick, this is Saturday night at the convention.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday morning, pretty much.
Yeah. These two realize how much stress I've been under. Trixie, who honestly hasn't been that much of a part of it, can see how stressed I am. It is all over my body.
Real quick, just want to say, bear in mind, with this, for Trixie's sake, so he can go get some sleep, we're kind of jumping around between points.
Sorry.
This isn't what's happening all at once. These are just different things that happen at different times during this convention.
Well, really, the reason why we went chronologically before is because that shit's important.
Yeah, build up for that is incredibly important. Now that the con is, here, we can be just a teeny bit more lenient with it.
Yeah, but before then, I had given away my Rarity plushie that Wanda had made specifically for me. I don't even think she had really made that many Rarity plushies before then because the main was such a pain in the ass to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there's this one kid that was just having such a bad time at this one convention I was at. It was SGC.
Really?
It was SGC of that previous year.
Wow.
That was the one I got to go there for the one day and meet Adam Sessler. I remember it now because that's when Wanda promised me she'd make me a new one. And we had no more pony plushies because I was there helping with the booth. And this kid was like, oh man, I really wanted a Rarity one. And I had it right there because it was literally given to me that day. I was just like...
Well, old girl, we've had some good times.
Pretty much, I was going through my head. I was like, you know what, kid? Here, you can take this. And they were just like, really? You don't want any money for it? I was like, no. Consider it a gift for me to you.
An act of generosity.
Yeah.
Rarity.
And even Wanda could see how much... she could see it in my eyes. I didn't want to let go of it.
Right.
I was just like, this kid needs it more than I do. So I gave it to this kid. And I don't regret that. I don't regret it at all. But, Trixie and Dewey both see how fucking stressed I am. I'm to the point of tears from keeping this ship afloat while it's still ablaze. The reason... I'm not doing this to give myself credit. The reason why that convention continued after Friday afternoon was because of me and Tyler. We are the reasons that ship kept afloat. If it wasn't for us, that convention would have literally burned down in flames. Basically, if you want to imagine it, I got a coffee mug of water just going, trying to put out the flames. Yeah. That's how big of a clusterfuck this is.
And that's the thing about it. These flames are so big, we're not going to be able to tell you everything that happened. We're just trying to
I will tell you if you come up to me and talk to me personally.
If you've got time.
Yeah. But I'm sitting there, I'm just like, oh my god, what am I going to do? Like, whenever I get super stressed, I don't know what it is, doctors can't describe it, but my kidneys start to hurt. And I'm sorry for the TMI, but I start to piss blood. I was pissing pretty much a red stream from all this. Yeah. It's how stressed I was. Wow. Yeah, it was so bad after Animation Celebration. I had to take time off from work. And that... Actually, no, that was Brony Fest. I was stressed from that because of the debt and all that. And that's what helped lead to how I got fired. But, because I was off for like a whole month because they're like, oh, you need a doctor's note to let us know that you can work and all that shit. But that's not a story for this. So they see just how stressed I am. And Trixie, I want you to go ahead and tell the rest of this.
Yeah, like...
Because what he did here, I went back up to my room and I bawled my fucking eyes out.
It was pretty classy.
Like,
it was incredibly classy.
I want to say it was like...
I'm trying not to tear up right now.
It was what, like 5 in the morning?
It was something.
No, it was like what it is right now, 6:30.
Yeah, it was pretty it was really fucking late and like...
Wait, no, this had to be Friday night because Saturday or into Sunday morning, that's when the whole Greg thing happened. Because he went to bed afterwards.
Yeah, I went to bed.
Because the video I sent him afterwards.
No, he came back down.
No, he didn't. We were up all night throughout Saturday. That was one of the things where he stayed up all night.
Okay, then I guess.
It was Friday night. I'm sorry about that mistake.
Anyways.
And so, like, earlier that day, as I said in the last podcast, I bought a Twilight. Well, this at AC, the same vendor was there, and they had the other main 6 members, and I bought all the rest of them at a discounted price. And so I literally had a basket full of the main 6
that
walking
sounds
around.
So cute.
And just like, look what I got. real quick, I remember showing Clayton, like, look at all these photos he got while he was playing guitar. He's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, I remember. Like, I'm still, like, I don't break the song. Like, I'm still strumming. I go, damn.
Yeah. And so, it just gets so late in the day, and I'm just like, guys, I'm gonna run up to my room real fast. I'm gonna drop my stuff off. I'll be right back. So I go to my room, drop off most of everything. I come back with just a bag on my back, man. You know, for a few more, like, I would say like 10, 15 minutes I was there, just talking with him because I was dead tired. Just like right now.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Why do you keep tradition alive?
yeah. Then, and like right I was like, alright guys, I'm fucking tired. I want to go to sleep, but first, I reach my bag and I pull out the Rarity plushie that I bought earlier today, and I gave it to J Thor. And just like, here man, you've been through some shit. I just want to maybe, I don't know if this will help much, but.
Oh god, it helps so much. That and Tyler's gift to me, the Rarity sleep mask I use to this day.
Yeah. The one you almost lost at Babs.
Yeah, that's a story for another time.
Oh, he was pissed. Woo!
But, as soon as Trixie gets up to the room, this is where anarchy happened. For those that don't know, anarchy is where we take a plush of Trixie's, or anything of his really, and just knock it over and go, anarchy.
Just gently tip it over and you just go,
And
anarchy.
Dewey, it's as he's walking away, Dewey gets the idea like,
I
hey,
get
dude,
this-
I'm gonna...
I get this massive shit-eating grin on my face. It's like, I got an idea.
He's like, hold on, wait, let me get ready for this. He hits record, just go, anarchy.
I send it to Trixie, and I immediately get a text like 5 minutes later, and it's like, you were almost, I think you were in like all caps, like, that's the first fucking thing you do with the plushie?
No, just all I said was the first fucking thing you do. That's it. That's all I wrote.
Bear in mind the video itself clocks in at a whopping 3 seconds.
But that truly
Oh
did
my
help
God.
me. But anyways, Trixie, you're free to bow out. And
And by
Go ahead,
bow
continue.
out, I mean, oh no, you'll fall asleep on my hat. Don't do that.
So then that way.
yeah.
Actually, here, can you?
There.
That works too. Wow, so graceful.
I'm gonna take this side.
Go for it, man.
Fucking mine.
Go for it, babe.
But,
So, what part should we? Anyways, so
I'm trying to think of a good one. But yeah, like, the only things pony there were what we brought to the table. And Neil Draw ponies.
yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like him anymore because of the whole Trace scandal, but
Well, that's the
Neil
thing
is an upstanding gentleman, and I will always respect him.
That's the thing. I just recently talked to him like a little over a month ago for the first time since that Trace scandal, which was a year ago, and I have tremendous respect for him. Like, he has matured more than I could ever anticipate. Again, off topic, super off topic, but Neil, I still love you, man. You
Yeah,
still
yeah.
are insanely talented at drawing, not tracing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so the Saturday night concert.
Let me
Yes.
start this one out because it starts with me.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you, Trixie.
Did you hear the venom on that one? Here's a
So
beauty.
this is another thing of where I was talking about Wanda not being able to be found, and
that
as
seems
the,
to be a rather recurring theme.
and the thing is, for the security guys, they have to be able to talk to the con owner if something comes up. So I'm constantly getting these guys like, have you seen Wanda? No, I haven't. Have you seen Wanda? No, I haven't. So it got to the point to where I started walking around trying to find her. I see the tail end of her. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm going to get you. So I'm literally speed walking because I don't want to run and piss off the hotel. But who
What?
happens to come out of the fucking elevator right as I pass it?
Our good buddy.
And mind
Greg.
you, at this time, I was a little bit more of a patient man. I'm still very patient, especially at my job with the dumbasses I have to deal with. But, Greg comes out. Greg being a classy guy
These
who's
guys,
too tired to carry his own fucking goddamn amp.
Yeah, guys, suppressed rage warning.
I'm sorry.
Just thought I'd go ahead and get that out there. Amp in one hand, girlfriend in the other.
It's like, here, carry this for me, and puts it in my hand right as I'm about to catch Wanda.
Even in my current state, I wouldn't do that thing.
We love you, Trixie.
And I just look at him dumbfounded. And I'm filled with so much rage, I basically go on autopilot. And I walk to the concert area. I set down his amp. Like, get someone else to carry your own fucking amp next time. I was literally centimeters away from pulling his badge, his girlfriend's badge, and his grandmother's badge. And tell him to get the fuck out of the convention. I was livid.
So, you know how you said find somebody else to carry your amp? Want to take a guess who that other person was? It was me. I just so happened to, because...
And I have to give a little bit of this backstory real quick. Those who have been around me know I shit on Clayton. And I'm sorry for using a real name for this. I know people are going to be like, who the hell is Clayton?
Just for rule of thumb, Clayton equals Dewey.
Yeah.
And Dewey equals Clayton.
But Clayton knows I'm fucking with him. That's why he always laughs and he'll counter. We've earned that right to be that way to each other, but people seem to think just because they've known us for not even the equivalent of 2 days from times at meetups that we'd be there, just cumulative hours. They think just because he does it, I can do it too.
That's not entirely true.
That's not true at all.
Mm-hmm. I'm sugarcoating it.
I know. Don't sugarcoat it for this one. Let the rage flow through you.
I don't know, a lot of it's kind of being transferred into you.
Anyways, proceed.
Okay, so Greg was told to find somebody else to carry his amp. Well, I had already been waiting at the concert because right before our set, the Freak Show is doing their thing. So I figured, you know what, I've got nothing better to do right now, so I'm going to, go half an hour early. I'm going to go half an hour early and, tune my guitar, go over my set list in my head, just make final preparations. With half an hour to go, I'm feeling good. Hotel California, that shit is behind me, so I'm feeling good about this one. Because for 8 months, I had already known what I was going to do. This is easy street for me. This is easy. And so I walk out, I walk out for a bathroom break, and as I walk out, Greg sees me, does the exact same thing to me, and plops the amp in my hands and says the exact same thing to me of, hey, carry my amp. And me, it's like, that's like, obviously that's just fucking rude not to ask, hey, will you please help me with my amp? It's, hey, carry my amp. And he wasn't exactly joking. And me, I don't want to do it, but I also don't want to make a scene. So I just, I try and play it off as a joke. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. I'm not your damn roadie or anything, Give like that nervous chuckle. And he goes like, it basically, I might be paraphrasing just a teeny bit, but he basically says like, fucking hell you aren't.
Yeah.
So once again, not wanting to make a scene because it's not worth it.
Dewey bites his tongue.
I bite my tongue and help him carry his stupid ass amp inside. And so we are there, and this was on my way back from the bathroom, by the way. So I was already, heading back towards the room. And so, we've got about 5 minutes to go.
This is where you can talk about your sound setup. Anything, I was going to let you get away with that one.
Okay. For those of you who are looking to perform on stages and everything, let me give you one friendly piece of advice. Don't keep things from your sound guy.
Ever.
Don't keep anything. 0 surprises, because he is the one who determines you. He's the one who has the power to make you sound great or sound like shit. It's basically, don't fuck with the people who handle your food. But, So, we're getting there for our sets. We're getting mic'd up and everything. And God bless this sound guy. I felt so bad for him.
Patience of a fucking saint.
He had been getting shat on all weekend long by a man.
Wanda.
I'm getting better.
A man named Wanda.
A man named Wanda.
Yes.
Anyways, so he's been through almost as much hell as we have, and our setups are pretty simple with what we need for mics. Like my guitar needs a mic and my voice needs a mic. 2 mics, EQ them up, we're good to go.
Oh, funny. If I remember this correctly, I'm probably not because I'm
Tired.
about to pass out.
Well, you need to hang in there.
I know, I will.
But anyways,
but you didn't learn until then that your acoustic could plug into an amp.
oh yeah, that's right.
And you felt so embarrassed.
Well, I mean, the job got done.
Yeah.
I felt pretty bad about that. I was like, oh wait, I could have used this as a plug. In my defense, it was a fairly new acoustic, anyways.
Yeah.
But the great thing. So Greg, like I already knew what he was gonna do for his set. Like he talked about it, and it showed promise. It really did. And I knew what he had a big surprise. Like he boasted about it to me, like, oh, I've got a big surprise for my set, and it's gonna be awesome. And it's like, okay, well, what's the surprise? I'm not gonna tell you guys what the surprise is just yet. But basically, it was like, in theory, sounds like a pretty fun, interesting idea. But basically, as we are on stage getting ready to get this show on the road, he blurts out of nowhere, hey, can I get another mic real quick? And the sound guy is pissed. He's like, what? Why the fuck do you need another mic? You've already got one for your amp and stuff like that. Because Greg didn't do any vocal work. It's all, just guitar. And he's like, why do you need another mic? And Greg looks at him with the most serious look on his face and goes, you'll just have to wait and see. Don't keep surprises from your sound guy. Please don't.
Yeah.
Because that made him sound like such an asshole. Wow. Oh my goodness. But, so anyways, so we're getting ready. So I go first. I go up first. And like I said, I already knew what songs I was gonna do. It was pretty standard, straightforward. I did "Stay Daring," "Stuck in Time," "Birds of a Feather," and "Thank You." All 4 songs I wrote, and set went pretty well. I mean, I don't really have any complaints about it. Went pretty good. Why are you standing, by the way?
Because I need to stay awake.
Oh, well, drink more Dr. Pepper.
There's not much left. I'm running on very little.
Consume the last.
But
Anyway.
There's one thing you forgot to mention.
What?
During your set, you said, hey, how's everyone doing tonight?
Oh yeah, well
That's going to play a role.
Yeah, such is the advantage of going first. But I do my songs, and I like to think I did a pretty good job. Decent set, nothing spectacular, but nothing bad. I did learn a valuable lesson though. Bring a goddamn water bottle on stage with you. By the time I got to my 3rd song, "Birds of a Feather," my throat was as dry as the Sahara, and I'm like, stand with me, because we're all birds of a feather. It was miserable. But, I powered through it like the soldier I am. And, I finished my set, thank you guys very much, check out my channel, come see me in the hall, blah, 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 blah. And, bleh. And then it's Greg's turn. He goes up with his gear, and he gets started. So, with Greg, he starts off, and basically the first song he does is the Skyrim, Pirates of the Caribbean crossover I mentioned, and don't worry, I'm gonna tell you guys what that surprise was.
Oh, and also he ripped off Dewey too.
With what?
How's the crowd doing tonight?
Oh.
Everyone's just like, basically.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess again, that's an unfair.
You gotta mention the other thing, buddy.
It's an unfair advantage I had. I'm getting to that. That was an unfair advantage I had over him. But his set, like I said, I really like Jay Thor knows this. I don't like to shit talk. I really don't. I like to, I've always gone by the idea of if you're not a professional, at least act like one. You know, next best thing and whatnot. So, this is very much out of my element to do. But basically, I'm not gonna I'm gonna pick it apart, but I'm gonna try what I can to not shit talk, if that makes any sense at all. But basically, I am not questioning Greg's ability as a musician. He's actually a very good guitarist. But I'm greatly questioning his ability as a performer, because there are just certain things that happen throughout that were just, ugh.
There's a key difference between performer and musician, by the way.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I'm just letting the audience know.
Right.
For those that don't know, there is a very thick line between the two.
Well, basically, the main problems with him was, as Jay, you couldn't see it, but one of the things Jather was doing was he was air guitaring while looking down. Engage your audience, look out into the crowd, and make them feel like, you know, you want to entertain them and not you're just there to do your set and then go. He looked down at his guitar the entire time. Never once looked up at the crowd until his song was over. And that, to me personally, that's just a big no-no. One of the greatest guitarists I've ever known, Eric Johnson, is he's one of my absolute favorite guitarists, and he's one of the only people I know who does that and can get away with it because
He's earned the right.
well, a lot of his stuff is incredibly intricate. That and he plays and sings. But so he gets through his first song, and that's the thing is, for those who, I don't know if you like Jathan, do you personally know how you get that hard rock sound out of an amp like that?
No.
Basically, what you do is you turn down your volume and turn up your gain. That's what gives it that crunch, like that rock sound that everyone knows.
I don't know why you just did a transformer sound.
Whatever, but
I get it.
But Greg turned both up, which resulted in a lot, and I mean a lot of white noise that got looped, mind you, because of his pedal. His second song was, it was something to do with some Toho song. I'm not a Toho fan, so I couldn't tell you.
It was probably not Remilius Scarge, Flandre's theme. Un was her.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that was it.
Why not? So,
It's the most popular Toho theme. It gets done the most.
But, like, that kind of playing produced, like, and bear in mind, I'm sitting in the crowd watching this. Like, my set's done, I'm sitting, because I wanted to see what he did, and I also wanted to see part of the Marquis of Vaudeville. But, a lot of really high, unpleasant screeches. Like, just noise that just filled the crowd. And I actually, as much as I hate to say it, I did look around and I did see several people covering their ears. People that we know included. But it was just, really, really rough. And then he gets to his third song, which is a mashup between the Song of Time from The Legend of Zelda and the theme to Tetris. Once again, sounds really good on paper, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It actually does sound like it could work. And you know what? When we did it in the garage, it really sounded very good. So he starts it, and this is where that big surprise comes in. He goes up and he's playing, white noise, blah, 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 blah. And then, as he's nearing the end of the song, he decides to make his move. And basically what he does is he takes his guitar and flips it behind his back, which, by the way, bangs against his amp and makes a very lovely feedback noise. And ignoring it, he pulls out an ocarina and starts playing along to his looping background with the ocarina. Which, again, like on paper, is a good idea. But when you've got the in the background and that, it can be rough. To his credit, though, he's actually, like, I had no idea about this, but Greg is actually a pretty decent ocarina player. Like, everything, he hit one sour note. And that was it. Everything else actually sounded really good. And so that's the end of his set. And again, as J. Thor said, he was saying a lot of the same shit that I was already saying, like, how's everyone doing, blah, blah, blah. But again, it's not really his fault. I would first. But there's one thing about this that I... Yeah,
You're going to ask me the question if you want.
Of course I'm going to. But in case you couldn't tell by J. Thor's snicker, it's a pretty big thing. So, riddle me this, guys. Whether you know music or not, if you're an opening act, what is the one thing you do not do? What is the one cardinal sin that you just... God help you if you fuck this up?
We'll give you 3 seconds.
One? Well, I mean, they can pause the video, but whatever. Okay. Do you want to answer or do you want me to answer?
You go and answer, buddy.
Don't leave your gear on stage. You don't...
Especially with it still turned on.
Yeah. Basically, he still had his guitar turned on, and the kick... not the kick.
The feedback.
The pickups from his guitar would introduce right in front of the guitar amp. I think you guys can see where I'm going with this. A very loud feedback sound that he did nothing about. And, you know, it took several people to snap at him and say, go get your fucking gear. To which he eventually did. And
It's like, oh, okay.
Okay. But he
Don't you dare grace him with that piece of joy.
Wow. All right, then.
Again, I'm sorry. This convention brings out the worst in me.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, it does that for all of us. But after that, you know, I stayed for a little bit. Like, Greg took off in a hurry to go, you know, spend more time with his girlfriend. Pretty much, yeah.
You couldn't tell I was making suck face noises.
Kissy kiss again and again and again. But by this point, you know, Marquis of Vaudeville's playing. You know, I'll admit I'd never heard of these guys before then. But I stayed for a song or two, and, you know, they're good. I like them. But after that, I went off because now...
Oh, that reminds me of a story I forgot to mention.
What?
The call I get. Or no. The MC coming to me.
No, we can't tell that.
Why?
Because
yeah, you're right.
We can't tell that because it would give away a name.
Shut.
We can't tell that. No. We can't tell that one.
Damn it.
I know.
If you want to know, come to me sometime.
Yeah.
Or him.
We can't. Anyways, so I go off and I do my own thing, and I find Tori
really good friend of the podcast as well.
Tori Evans, great guy.
Basically, if you saw the premiere and that one point with all the pins,
that's Tori. Like,
he is the basis of that. I don't care what Hasbro says.
That's Tori. That's our boy. But anyways, I find him, and he's leading My Little Karaoke panel. Bless you. And so, you know, I go...
Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Why? That's what he was doing.
No, I'm not talking about you.
know.
I'm talking about Greg.
Anyways, you know, he's leading the My Little Karaoke panel. So I go in, you know, I help him out and everything. And by this point, it's like, I think, like 10:30 or so. So the panel is starting to, you know, end. And everyone, you know, is like, oh man. So I decide to go, hey guys, you know what? You know, hi, my name is Do the Daring Do. I play pony music. If you guys want to keep hearing some cool pony songs, come follow me. So we went out into the fountain outside in that gorgeous view, and I just kept playing pony songs for people. Like, I played a lot of my stuff. We played some fandom classics, and that was just amazing. Like, the fact that, like, we could just do this ourselves. Well, and bear in mind, Marquis of Vaudeville was still playing. So we were kind of...
Again, the original pony crowd came for ponies. That's what they were promised.
Yeah, and again, so... And again, on that note, there is one huge... Before we end this, there's one huge story I want to get to, but I don't know if we're, you know, there quite yet. But
which story is this?
The last thing I saw. Like, that one means everything to me.
I don't really remember.
You will. Don't worry, I promise.
Oh, don't worry. We're going a minute or an hour and 50.
Cool.
This will be our longest episode. It'll probably end up past 2 hours.
That's one way to find
Again, I don't know why I'm saying this so late, but I'm sorry it's such a long episode, guys.
Yeah. Hey, if you stuck around this long, I guess.
This is drama filled, and people love drama. And
you know what?
I'm not gonna blame you if you laugh at how angry I am.
No, that's kind of what.
You could come up and tell me, like, look, dude, I feel sorry for you,
But I did.
but I laughed my fucking ass off.
And you know
And I will respect that, because at least my pain brought something.
Well, that and also the fact that they had the balls to come forward and just tell you that. Anyways, so yeah, we basically spent a lot of time doing the the concert outside, and I got to play. God, I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry, but there was this not little girl, but she was like maybe like 14 or so. I took his seat. He's mad. There, but
Tell my mommy.
okay.
Oh, wait, she's dead.
Wow. All right. Well, you made that joke, not me.
I know. I make that joke all the damn time.
Anyways, this little girl who was like I think like 15 or 16, she cosplayed as Luna, and she is a brilliantly talented violin player. She was so cool. So I really hope I see her again. If you're listening, keep playing. You are super cool.
By the way, just real quick, you were telling me how you were looking through old photos and stuff of these conventions.
Yeah.
If you could create like a Imgur photo profile of it, so I can link it to this possibly at a later date.
It'd have to be much later, but yeah, I can do that.
But I would like to see those pictures too, because I didn't get to experience the con.
You talk like you wanted to.
I wanted to see all my friends.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
And sorry, I'm not sniffling because I'm crying. Just allergies suck.
Yeah, and also the fact that it's almost 7 in the morning.
But the main thing is, I would also like for people who weren't there to see it. Like, you'll probably hear whispers of how horrible Animation Celebration
They're
was.
still talking about. Okay, you know what? I have to tell this. This isn't something that happened at the con. Quick timeout. This happened last year.
Go ahead.
One of the I'm not gonna give a name, but this happened at the last A-Con. Thursday night before the convention, I was hanging out and I got a little drunk, and I was just drinking, having some fun, just sitting by myself, and this guy comes up and sits next to me, and he looks kind of familiar, but he turns to me and says, "Hey, wait a minute, I know you." I'm like, "Really, you do?" He's like, "Yeah. You play in the halls of a lot of the pony conventions I've done security for." And it's like, "Really? Huh?"
Was this guy big?
Yeah, it's security.
Do you have facial hair and...
I know his name. Do you want me to say it or?
Yeah, you can go and say it.
It was Nugget.
I fucking love Nugget.
Nugget's cool.
Fucking love that bastard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you we can't really give a description of how he looked, but if you ever go to A-Con or something like that, he's working security, and if you're around us and we see Nugget, we'll always say hi to Nugget.
Nugget's cool, and Nugget, if you just so happen to be listening, this one's for you. But and you probably don't remember this, but trust me, I do. He sits next to me. He's like, "Yeah, you've been in you've played in a lot of the halls of a lot of the cons I worked." And I was like, "Oh, really? Well, I'm genuinely curious. Like, which ones have you seen me at?" And he goes, and bear in mind, this was last year. This wasn't at Animation Celebration. This was just last year. He goes, "Oh, I saw you at Brony Fanfare. I saw you at Fiesta Equestria. Oh, and that one shitty convention in Louisville." And I was like, I knew exactly. He wasn't talking about Brony Fest. He was talking about Animation Celebration. Guys, it is widely accepted that this convention bombed.
Thank God it wasn't a pony convention.
I know. They are still talking about it to this day. So anyways, back to the convention. I just wanted to tell that quick little story like, I remember you. Love you, Nugget. But anyways, back to the convention itself. So that's how the whole concert went down. And I didn't see much of Greg after that. Well, actually, we did with poor Trixie.
Yeah, Trixie's asleep for this, but that Saturday night we were talking, and we were up all night. The reason why I was up all night is because I was, even though I'm supposed to get, no, I wasn't locked out. I was doing it out of courtesy. The reason why I was staying up all night, I was just gonna get a little bit of sleep, was because I snore. I snore pretty badly, and the night before, the people that were staying with me, we were put in the same room by Wanda, and they talked to me the next day like, "Hey, you snore pretty loud," and I was like, I'm so sorry. I forgot to bring earplugs for you guys. And they're like, no, it's all right. It's perfectly all right. We still slept really well. And I was self-conscious about it, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till they wake up. They'll go get a couple hours of sleep, and I'll continue with keeping this bitch afloat.
Anyways.
But we were sitting there. Trixie pulled out his laptop, which is no longer with us. But he was playing Fighting His Magic while me and Dewey were talking. And then we noticed that breakfast is starting to get served.
Yeah, but guys, it's like 7 in the morning by this point, so sun's out. We've been talking for a long time.
Yeah. And Greg, and Greg too, show up, and they're like, "Hey, scoot over." They basically forced Trixie out of his spot.
Yeah, they kicked him out of the spot he was already sitting in and sent him to the other side of the
Table.
No, not the table.
We're at that round table.
Yeah, they sent him to another table.
No, he scooted over closer to us. Like, they forced him to move over, and it was really uncomfortable for you because he was so close. Like, nothing against Trixie. I'm not saying anything bad. Just you guys were unnaturally close.
I don't really remember that. But...
I remember it because I was glaring at them. And I was like, as soon as they got to go get breakfast, I was like, guys, let's go find another fucking table.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a chance to before they came back. And then it's all lovey-dovey.
Again, that's the thing about it is public displays of affection bother the shit out of me. Like, I don't care. Like, seriously, I don't care if it's a guy and a girl, 2 girls or 2 guys. It does not matter.
A guy and a rock.
Yeah, it does not matter. When you're in our face with that, like, oh, look how in love we are, and believe me, Greg was, and honestly probably still is, but oh, look how in love we are, blah 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 blah. It gets really fucking annoying, really fucking fast, and it makes you look very very bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, so there's that. Okay, so aside from the thing that like I'm hyping up, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Like the beauty of this.
Oh, right, rough panel. I do want to talk about that. That was like my one good thing other than Pony the Interruption and
yeah, that was. I was a guest for.
I'll try to find those videos if I remember and post them.
It's saved in my favorites. I can send it straight to you.
Oh, okay, sweet. That'll work.
Well,
better.
just the part with our fucking sodas. Ugh.
That's the only part that was recorded.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
That episode is on my laptop, the audio, but
it's good.
But a little bit backstory. Me, Tyler, and Dallas are at Tyler's apartment in our town.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna go pee.
Okay. We go up to the Denton Square and we go to this one Atomic Candy place. Really good candy place. And they have all these joke sodas. We get buffalo sauce soda, chocolate covered maple bacon.
It still sounds disgusting.
And I can't remember the third one, but we were just like, fuck it, we're gonna go ahead, have fun with this, we're gonna record this, I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and we're just gonna have some fucking fun. So that's where Dallas could see it, like, Animation Celebration, we're gonna fucking do this there. And I was like, no, Dallas, please. No, Brunson will never go for this. Dewey, I'm going to see if you remember the third flavor, because I only remember 2 of them.
I actually do. I didn't hear the flavors you were talking about, so hold on. You're going to quiz me on that.
I'm not going to quiz you. I'm going to need you to help me remember.
I know, hold on.
I just remember the good one and the bad one.
No, I got this.
But mind you, Ride Rough Bronies was my original podcast. We did a normal podcast episode. It was a lot of fun. We got everyone involved, and that's when... Clayton, were you on that episode, or did we call you up for Ride Rough Bronies for the soda challenge?
No, I was there in the beginning.
Okay, so yeah, Dew was there in the beginning.
Okay, so what were the soda names that you have?
Sweet corn.
Yeah. Oh, cream corn. It was cream
corn. Teriyaki. Now I remember.
Buffalo teriyaki.
Ranch.
That's.
It wasn't buffalo teriyaki. It was just teriyaki. Okay, so sweet corn, absolutely disgusting. Ranch, absolutely disgusting. Teriyaki tastes just like beef ramen broth.
It really does.
So me and Dallas are used to that shit. So we take a shot of each, and oh my god, it was horrible.
I still beat you in rock, paper, scissors.
Shut up, I'm getting to that.
I won, bitch.
And instead, what we did with the original video we did rock, paper, scissors. Dallas lost, so we mixed all of them together. Whoever lost had to chug it. Needless to say, I lost.
To me.
And people kept quizzing me because we didn't pour all of it. We saved some for the audience to try afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
My stomach has never been the same.
That's funny.
Like, people were like, how did it taste? I was like, I'm still burping it up. Please stop bringing this up to me.
Please stop bringing it up because my body's doing a great job bringing it up.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, please stop. I don't want to talk anymore.
I just
But,
want to go home and lie down.
But we could go ahead and move on to your thing, and I think it's the perfect way to wrap up because it is the closing day.
Yes. Okay.
Literally, me and Tyler are walking around. We're watching. Oh, I have to tell this little part.
If it's what I think it is,
I'm pretty sure
is it
it's the last time we ever saw Wanda.
Yeah, this is just okay. Yeah, this is how we're gonna end. We're gonna end with like something that's a bit of a uncomfortable, disturbing, and then something that's incredibly uplifting. Let's start with the disturbing.
Well, this is before everyone's. Well, they're starting to take down stuff because they realize the con's going down and all that.
It's not like
She made sure as me and Dewey are walking around, we're just talking. I can't remember what we brought up, but she chimed in.
It was a Big Lebowski thing.
Are you sure?
Fairly sure.
But I guess we're talking about Big Lebowski, and she just walks by us and chimes in. This is literally the last time we see Wanda. She chimes in and makes some joke that runs with whatever we're saying. And she's in a perfectly good mood. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Basically, we're heading towards the exit. You know, we're looking at stuff as we go by, and we were talking about something Big Lebowski related, not Big Lebowski, not like the movie itself. And I can't for the life of me remember what it was. But she chimes in behind. She pokes her head in behind us and walks with us, makes some snide remark, turns right. And I never saw her again.
The last time, I figured out what she was doing because the last time I technically saw her was while we were walking out. She was going to each of the vendors she knew that did well at that con. Was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have another. No, that's the thing. She was gonna have Animation Celebration in
Galveston.
March, and then in July in Galveston at this one resort.
Nope.
And she went up to these people like, oh yeah, you go ahead and pay now, you get a discounted rate, and we'll see you next time. And these people were like, oh yeah, we did a killing at this show. Let's go ahead and do it. We have the money to spare for these tables. Needless to say, there was no Animation Celebration.
And let's not forget about Wanda's strict no refunds policy. So all those people, and I know, remember remember our kid in this Mario hat?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mario hat. Sorry, man. I mean, he knows this by now, but you aren't getting that money back.
Yeah, she didn't bother to even tell anyone as the day was getting there. Because I saw on her profile on Facebook, like, hey, Wanda, what's up with Animation Galveston? You still doing this? Will you let us know? Bye.
You ain't getting that money back.
Yeah.
And I that's the thing is Mario Hat already knows that. He's known that for a long time, and that's good that he's not pissed about it, but yeah, it fucking sucks.
But anyways, go with your uplifting thing.
Actually, there was one other thing. I know. Don't hang your head. Tiny one. How we have to. This is funny.
Oh,
this is funny. We have to.
You continue. I'm going to the bathroom.
We have to tell about how Wanda stole from cats.
You tell this one.
Okay, so basically what happened? Here's the funny thing about this. J Thor just went to the bathroom. This is just me right now. Basically, I didn't know about this until several months after the convention. But one of the things in it was Wanda was friends with some girl from a cat shelter that has orphan kittens and everything. So Wanda decided, you know what? Let's do a fundraiser. Let's do a fundraiser for this. And that money can go towards taking care of the orphan cats. The fundraiser raised about
$400.
I thought it was $450.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was like $450, and then one. I'm sorry, I can't. Again, this is just another one of those examples of I can't make this shit up. Wanda took that $450 and used it to pay the voice actors. My God, she stole from orphaned cats. As somebody I know, as a friend of mine put it, that's like Disney villain shit right there. That was so. I mean, it was horrible in regards to the poor cats themselves.
Mind you, she offered to give them 4 plushies in return where they could sell for $150.
That's right. No, but like she stole from orphan cats. I still just can't believe it. And my friend's right. That's like Disney villain shit. Oh my God, that's so funny. Jay, though, you almost done?
You can go ahead and continue with your thing.
No, I want you to be here.
Just go ahead and continue. I'll be here for minutes.
Alright. Okay, so it is 7:13 a.m. right now, so yeah, this is, I'm actually really happy that I get to have one of the last words in regards to this whole nightmare. So if you're still listening by this point, you've probably noticed, we've been on and I'm not talking about just the con itself, I'm talking about everything leading up to the con too. We went on a bit of a ride, a wild, crazy, bullshit ride that had a lot of ups and probably more downs than ups. But something happened at the end of the convention that I will never forget as long as I live. I don't know, I might have mentioned this on an earlier episode, but in case I haven't.
You didn't.
I didn't?
No.
Okay, good. But yeah, I will never forget this as long as I live. But I actually had one of my panels was the last panel of the convention. Okay, that's not the I'll never forget that thing. That's cool and everything, but it's my personal favorite panel to do. It's a panel called 1/1000th, in which I wrote, on my 1-year Bronyversary, I wrote an article called 1/1000th, which is basically about what my first year of being a Brony was like, everything I learned because of it, and it's basically just a giant thank you to everybody in the fandom because I love them with all my heart. But the panel 1/1000th was a reading of that article, and then followed by a discussion with everybody else about what they thought of the article and to share their own. It's like a present and discuss panel, and it's still going on. I still do this panel quite a bit, and it's one of my it's not one of mine. It is my absolute favorite panel to do, and this was my first time doing it. I read the article out loud, and actually, I was incredibly moved by the kind of reception it got. Full house was. I had people, clapping. I got a standing ovation. I saw some people were crying. I was just so honored and so, just wowed that a couple words I wrote down on a piece of paper moved people like that. And I mean, J Thor knows all about this. How much I love this panel. I've been doing 1/1000 for quite a while, and it never gets old. But this was my first time doing it, and because it was the last panel of the convention, we had a bit of time to just, talk, shoot the shit, and go just a teeny tiny bit over our time. And bear in mind, closing ceremonies for the convention itself are going on as this panel is going on. Like I said, I had the last panel of the convention. I forget what you were doing at this time.
I was walking around with Tyler, making sure everything was going well.
Okay. So anyways, yeah, 1/1000th is going on. Everybody's having a good time. And then the panel, and and also Tori had some bronies in the room next to us, so we're just, watching silly videos. So basically, it's just us. And we basically get the word, it's like, hey, someone poked their head into the door and was like, hey guys, panel needs to wrap up. We're starting to shut down, so we need you to clear out. So we're like, oh yeah, okay, because we already went over the hour and a half mark that we were given for that. And I'm sorry, I'm actually getting I'm actually getting chills thinking about this. But we went out there and we left the room. It was like, okay, let's take this conversation outside. No big deal. Blah 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 blah. So both rooms start merging. Like the people in my 1/1000 panel start merging with the other bronies that were in Tori's, watching silly pony videos. And we all go out as a unit, and we go out into the halls of the convention. And like I said, I'll never forget what I see. I saw nothing. I saw absolutely nothing. I saw there were no tables, no more booths, no more posters, nothing. No vendors were still walking around. Nobody was moving boxes. The only thing that was there was a custodian, mopping and vacuuming the floor. And, everyone around me is, they're still smiling and they're talking and everything, doing what we do. But I'm just sitting there. I'm just standing there staring at it, and honestly, I'm kind of frozen. Because I can't believe what I'm seeing. And basically, let me explain why seeing absolutely nothing means everything to me. Because, and Jather, I actually want you to chime in on this too, is just the idea of everything, after everything we went through. And this was let's be honest, this is one of the most, memorable times of our lives. It was, trials and tribulations through and through with this.
Except with no Godo.
Yeah, I love that game. But anyways,
I thought that's what you were referencing.
No. I mean, I'm actually not referencing anything right now. I'm just saying we went on a fucking wild ride with this.
It was no Mr. Toad's ride, that's for sure.
Just take this serious.
No, I'm being dead serious.
It's, but we went through so much wonderful times, so much crap, so much things that we're still talking about at 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday, and we're both about to just absolutely collapse from exhaustion. But we have to get to this. But after all of this, after all the bullshit, Wanda, I almost did. After all the bullshit Wanda put us through, having a convention like Brony Fest that was so special and so magical being taken away from us and turned into whatever the fuck that was, to have the presence of something that made us, a collective unit, just that Brony presence that brought us all together, to have that taken away bit by bit by bit by bit until there was barely anything left, to have that, and then at the end of it all, at the end of this wild, crazy road, who is the last man standing?
The Bronies.
The Bronies. And like I said, I just couldn't believe that. That spoke volumes to me, that despite everything that happened,
fuck the Bronies.
All the fuck the Bronies, Hollywood's blacklisting them, fuck Bronies, we can get David Tennant, just all this stuff that went down, we're still the last one standing. And like I said, I will never forget that until the day I die.
Oh, by the way, those vendors,
Mm-hmm.
they're all pony vendors.
There you go.
That really says something. I have to ask you a question.
Shoot.
Would you trade that for anything in the world?
What?
Would you say that this whole experience made you grow as a person?
Are you actually asking me that?
Mm-hmm.
Abso-fucking-lutely it did. I asked you the same thing despite...
Oh, yeah.
Despite the...
Why do you think, literally, in 2014, Nightmare Nights was like, we know you've been through some shit in con ops. We're very sure you can take over con ops for us.
But that's the thing, is just... That just goes to show that just the true strength, the passion, and just the overall love that goes into this fandom. We were eventually going to tie it to ponies eventually on stable condition, but just that spoke everything. And that is here we are 3 years later, 2 years later. I use that as motivation every day when I go in and I get my ass kicked when I'm working on music and stuff like that, because it makes me want it even more. It makes me want to succeed with that even more, just because I've seen what this fandom has done for me, what it's done for Jather, what it's done for our unconscious friend behind me. It's just, I'll never get over it. I will never, ever get over it. And again, at the end of it all, they're still standing. And like I said, I'll be telling my...
Wanda is not.
No, she's not. She's nowhere to be found. Greg is nowhere to be found.
We haven't seen him since
we've seen
the
him
last Roddy Rough Brownies panel at A-Fest, which would be about 2 years ago.
I mean, we didn't even say anything to him. It's not worth it. But it's just... I just think that's... And that's the thing. What the beauty of something like Animation Celebration is... We've been telling this story a lot of times, in a lot of ways, to a lot of people. Yet we will never get it 100% right.
Yeah.
There will always be something that we're forgetting about, something that we didn't know. Like, we told you maybe, like, in these, let's see. In the 2 hours and 15 minutes you've been listening to us babble, we've told you maybe 45% of what all happened there.
Yeah.
That's the magnitude. Like, we just
a lot of it I'm legally bounded by not to talk about on the air.
Well, that and all, and that I'm not really legally bound by anything, but I just do it out of goodwill. But
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be a Wanda.
no, I don't. But this is just like, I can safely say this is one of that span of a year and a half has been like one of the most eye-opening character developing times of my entire life. And you're absolute, to answer your question, no, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Again, I believe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And we were meant to go through that bullshit. Because look, here we are at the same we're in the same building where all that shit went down, and we're still here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why every year we come to this hotel to remember. And I think that's actually, like, for everything that we're working on, like my music, our involvement with What Came Down, our own personal stable condition now, our own personal projects, just this idea that we're continually chasing not just one dream, but multiple dreams all at once. I think it's important to remember what you're fighting for. To remember, the shit that we've seen, what it's like, and how
Shit we've gone through.
and just the idea of, is it worth it? You bet your fucking ass it is.
Here, here.
So,
Jinx, by the way.
yeah, you got
That's
it.
on the record.
Yeah,
but that
yeah.
wasn't a fair one. We're both dead tired.
So
I'll relinquish this one. But
so if you are still listening to this, seriously, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very, very much.
Again, I'm sorry it's so long. I know a lot of people aren't like me who like to listen to 2-hour plus podcasts.
It's very trying, and I mean, we've muscled through 2 different episodes. Well, we've done 3 episodes today. We did one for the review of season 6's premiere. We did the Brony Fest one, and now this, which I coming into this, I knew this one was going to be the longest.
Yeah, we
I
all
knew.
know.
I knew that. I mean, hell, we lost Trixie. He's asleep.
Technically, I think this is the length of the 2 combined. Almost, at least.
Hey, man, it very well could be, but I think I guess it's time to bring it to a close, because even after we turn this off, there's still going to be plenty of times where, like, oh yeah, well, we could have talked about that, and we could have talked about that.
Just remember, no matter what shit you go through, you grow through it. And you do better yourself, especially if you learn and you open your eyes.
Yeah.
Because, again, even though you heard me, not in my pure most angry, because if you talk to me about this, where I can tell you the other 55%, sorry, I'm trying to do math, of this, you will see me truly angry. You'll probably see my eyes turn red.
I've seen it. In fact, he's actually done it while we were doing this.
That was lightish red. But,
whatever, man.
sorry, I had to get one reverse blue quote. But yeah, just remember what you're going through will make you grow.
Remember,
it's not worth giving up.
And
I hated that time in my life, but it led me on to such better things. I'm now the head of con ops for Nightmare Nights, my favorite convention, especially the one working for. I have the best crew. I have the best con owners in the entire world. No, I'm sorry to Babs Con, BronyCon, Midwest Brony Fest, all of the others, A-Con, every convention, but you can't top my staff at Nightmare Nights.
Well, I mean, you mean that in the sense of like personal bias. That's not like calling them out or anything.
No, I'm not calling any of them out. I'll be the first to admit I go to your conventions to learn from what you do so I can better myself for my convention owners. I'll admit that outright. I'm not saying that your conventions are run badly. Not saying that at all, but...
We've got emotional connections to those that we work with.
Especially my head of security, Feather Prop. I
God
have to give you a shout
Feather,
out.
amazing.
Leatherneck, Zyro, Chef Sandy, Bob, Karen, everyone.
You guys are the best.
Major Tom. I'm not quoting David Bowie.
I know.
Everyone that works at Nightmare Nights. If it wasn't for Animation Celebration, I would not have the honor and privilege to be working with you.
And now, well, I'm not technically a part of Nightmare Night staff. I do a ton of work with them. I do a lot of panels. I perform at the con. I perform at the halls. I've been, one of the music acts, and it's just the magic is still very much there. And we take what we've learned from all of this to apply it to everything that we're doing moving forward with this, with our new podcast, and just stuff like that. And that's why honestly, while it's only here for one night in a less than impressive hotel room, I mean, it's about as standard as it gets, whatever. But that's why I honestly look forward to. We've only done it twice, I know, but I look forward to this every year, and I think we need to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Because it's important. It's incredibly important. Like, I know we say, we use the word suppress a lot during this, but you need to remember the beautiful things that were so magical and so special. And at the same time, you need to remember the horrific and the nightmarish, because it's also special in its own way.
Mm-hmm. Special in how you might not see it right now, but... And I'm going to tell you this right now, we got lucky with how quickly things turned around for us. That won't be the case for everyone, but
yeah,
it eventually does turn around. It does.
So, yeah.
Meth is one hell of a drug. I'm sorry.
Jesus,
I'm so
man.
tired.
Yeah, he was making a dumb joke and shit. But, yeah. I think we've come to the end of a very long road with this.
Yeah, and it's going to continue going.
So, guys,
just wait till Babs con.
Yeah, well...
Ooh.
Oh, I mean, I just meant this specific episode.
I know. I'm just saying our other convention episodes.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. Wait till you guys get to the Nightmare Nights one. We are going to have so much fun with that. And don't worry, it's good. There's no Animation Celebration bullshit or anything. This is good. This is very good.
I won't be able to talk too much about things because I'm not legally bound by anything.
You know what you'll be able to talk about.
I know.
But anyways, I think now is a good time to call it in. Guys, thank you very, very much for listening to us drone on for...
And one thing real quick.
Yeah?
If you got through all of this, leave a comment and say, I survived this podcast.
I'm about to say, if you were at either or both of these, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
We're going to get you through this.
But seriously, if you listen to all of this, do leave us a comment saying, I survived this podcast, or I survived Animation Celebration. Just, yeah.
Because we did too, man.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm JWhoof.
I'm Dude the Daring Do, and
I'm Trixie!
I'd say the unconscious bloke behind us is Trixie.
We will see you all later.
Good morning, and thank you again.